tonight on 8.5-bit, we put on an exhibition match, go to an exhibition, and we become exhibitionists. Welcome, Friends of All Designs, to episode 300 of 8.5-bit. And what a wing-ding of an episode do we have planned for you. Lots of celebrations and fun things, but doing nothing. I'm your host, Paul, and joining tonight are my good friends, James.
Hello.
And Sam.
Hi.
And the games in tonight's intro were, of course, Pokemon Brilliant Diamond above Pearl, because Pearl sucks.
Well,
Yeah.
I have opinions.
The Kid Amnesia exhibition and my penis. No, we won't be discussing that at any length. Because there isn't any. Okay, and a bunch of other games. Look, my list of games is very, very long, but I'm going to point out right here at the top that the game I've put the most time into is the Kid Amnesia exhibition.
Says a lot about all the other ones.
Kinda. Just like there's a lot of things I've touched on, and I actually really got into that. But we'll talk about that later. How are you, boys?
Pretty good.
Yeah. Going pretty good.
Okay, well, that's the show. Thank you for joining us for this 300 spectacular. You know, I have some cake outside.
Yeah.
It's a bit dry, but it's there.
What's it for?
It was for my birthday.
Ah, yes, which was recently.
Yes,
I
it was
believe.
last week. Yes, and it was what a wingding of entertainment. I bought myself a new phone, which isn't here yet, but I really wish it did because it seems that my actual phone died about 40 minutes ago.
Is that a new term that's coming into fashion? A wingding?
A wingding?
Yeah.
A wingding of... No, wingding's old style.
I know what wingdings are.
Yeah. Well, no, not the font.
Why not?
How many people do you think have learnt to read wingdings?
Well, the weird thing is I bring it up because the levitating man wingding is now an emoji. It's a levitating businessman.
I did not know there was a levitating
Yeah.
wingding.
I don't know why it existed as a wingding.
Okay, so I'm going to turn all of today's notes. Does Google Notes have wingdings?
Actually, one of my friends from high school could read wingdings.
You know,
for a while.
I think that the older I get, the more insecure I get about my emoji use.
Yeah,
And
because
just
every now and then you see posts about like, oh, and boomers use this
Yeah,
emoji,
yeah.
and you're like, but I use that emoji.
Or my use of GIFs. Animated GIFs, like, is that...
My GIF game is strong.
It's 7 different languages using the same set of letters, but it's emojis.
Yeah. Well, see, I just do pokey at tongue face, but I don't let it turn into emoji. It just has to stay as text.
Stay as text,
Yeah. That's how they know I'm cool.
I do still like receiving business emails with the sunglasses face because someone's put an 8 at the end of a bracketed statement.
Nice.
Yeah, and it just turns it.
That's what we're looking for.
It's accidental emojis.
Okay. Videoed games. Lots of stuff sort of about to happen more, I guess. Game Awards are this week, which we don't care about, but we do care about because they're fun.
Give some announcements can be in there.
They're stupid, but they're fun.
Event, some stuff shown. And awards we don't care about.
We're not really jumping into news, but we're just doing news here because this is the thing coming up that will surely spark some talk later this week. Jeff Keighley came out and said, whoa, naughty Activision with all the naughty sexual...
It was pretty naughty.
Yeah, well, honestly,
They are on the list.
if you actually look at what they're in trouble for with the government, it's not the sexual abuse. It's the payment and, it's the money side of things they're in trouble for. Because, anyway, we won't get too cynical about that. But he said they're not going to be involved any more than the prizes they can win and the fact that they're on the board. But other than those facts... Don't expect to see a new trailer for the new season of Call of Duty there, which is all they showed last year. So, probably not a big loss. But also, Game Awards is not somewhere I expect activism. It's a commercial enterprise that exists for selling ad space. And if they can't get the big boys to spend big bucks on ads, it just doesn't exist. Which it doesn't need to. But if it does exist, it's going to play with those big boys. Because they'd have to kill Activision, Ubisoft, Riot.
All of them.
That's the thing with Sony today, with one of the execs.
Oh, yeah.
One of the VPs getting caught for being a pedophile.
Yeah.
But I don't know if that counts as like a corporate abuse.
cultural,
Yeah. I think that might just mean that person is a scumbag. I mean, EA has certainly had its ups and downs. How long since EA Wives now? I feel that was like
I'm
over
not
a
sure.
decade ago.
Yeah.
But we could still hold on to that.
Yeah.
A rock-
Because I'm pretty
could
sure
hold on
nothing's
to
been
everything.
fixed.
Yeah,
Yeah.
2K has been suing everyone. Oh, that's not in the news. 2K sued. Oh, what is it?
Oh, it's
We'll get to it later.
after
We'll get to it later.
yeah.
2K loves suing people. And I misread the case documents. I thought there was no story. And then 3 days later, everyone broke this other story. I'm like, I could have broken that. I just didn't know how to read legal documents. Anyway, so it'll be a big commercial. And we'll see some new games. And we'll go, ooh.
And we'll go, why is that game of the year? It's just a popularity vote.
I mean, the popular vote is a popularity vote. It kind of is. Like, I mean, what do you expect is going to win Game of the Year?
I don't know.
The most popular game. I don't even know what the
Yeah,
nominees are.
Game. Oh, I'll bring up the nominees for you. Let's
Yeah.
have a chat
Let's
about
come
this
with a
first.
guess. Yeah.
All
Yeah.
I care about is that
I know half of them.
one of the two Deathloop characters gets the
voice.
the voice.
Yeah, I've voted. I can't remember which one I voted for, but one of them. So your nominees for Game of the Year, and this is probably the most surprising one to me. Resident Evil Village got a thing. Not because it's not a fantastic game, but horror is just not normally put up there. Actually, they're all half of them are kind of surprising.
Yeah.
It Takes Two.
That surprises me. I wouldn't
Yes.
expect to see that up there.
Because it's, it's a co-op game. Has the writing of like a drunken 8-year-old. I get the amount of people that I still hear talking about it's Yosef. What's his first name's Yosef. Anyway. His games as if they've got good writing
but they don't.
Yeah.
are like, holy shit! Have you guys read
A book?
a pamphlet before? He has fun. He has good technology. He can come up with fun things. I played the best game of horseshoes in my life in Way Out. But writing not a strong suit. But
I mean,
amazing stories.
the first 20% of Way Out was good.
It was okay.
Yeah.
Still by the numbers, but it's like non-objectionable, and then it becomes very objectionable. Like everyone seems to skip over the fact that turns into Gears of I don't know. It turns into I was going to say Gears of War, but that's too generous. It turns into Army of Two. Poor man's Army of Two to get crystals in Southern America. It's like
It becomes very strange.
what the fuck is this? Exactly what I'm looking for in my prison drama. Psychonauts 2, Metroid Dread, Deathloop, and Ratchet & Clank: A Rift Apart. And out of those, I think Ratchet & Clank is the least worthy of that list.
Yeah.
The rest are pretty solid. And Ratchet & Clank's fine, but it's just fine, whatever. Like, yes, it's a good game. It has some very lovely visuals. Put it up for visuals, that's fine. But it's actually kind of an interesting year because there isn't like a...
There's no like
There's
one
no, like,
standout,
definitely
like,
that.
big popular
I
thing.
can see anyone taking.
Yeah, they're all kind of like more niche genre things than just big third-person action game. I mean, Ratchet & Clank is third-person action game, but it's not that sort of narrative, like, prestige piece. You need some more... Is you choking, James?
I'll be back in a second.
He's leaving, but through the power of poor editing, he'll be back, right? And there we go. Welcome back, James.
Oh, my water appeared.
No, you also appeared.
Oh, hooray!
Magic. How magical it is. So there's a bunch of other game awards and stuff. There's nothing objectionable. But it's a year of like, hey, anything can kind of win this. And I don't really care. Like, it's fun.
Yeah.
They'll have some good trailers. The indie game is basically what is the best Devolver Digital game of the year.
That doesn't surprise me though.
Yeah, because I think it's... Well, there's Inscription and Death's Door there at least. I can't really remember what else is there. We know. We know. Oh, players' voice categories. I don't care. Whatever. Get out of there. I just wanted to look at the nominees again. Apparently, the winner for currently in rounder is It Takes Two for the People's Voice. Very surprising, because people should have better taste than that. Just in the writing. The rest of the game's pretty cool.
They don't know.
They don't.
We know they don't.
Yeah. I mean, video games
Even I don't.
aren't known for great writing in the first place, but they don't normally have like harmful social interactions. Like I imagine like psychologists watching that game and just say, why would you publish
It's bad.
this?
Very bad.
It's like, these two awful people are abusing their child. Isn't it funny?
And in order to save them, they abuse each other.
Yeah. And then they torture a beloved pet.
Yeah.
Which is a toy, but as they are
Still.
also toys, proven toys are alive. So, there's a lot of ethics involved in this. Welcome to the new show, The Ethics of It Takes Two. And the three of us will be discussing that. Because we found out it does take more. That's right. Save all your relationships with a threesome. That's all the advice I have for now.
Life advice for the ages.
Okay, let's talk about some video games. Okay, look. Let's do it now so I'm not totally tuned out.
Yeah.
Tell us about the Pokemon.
Oh yeah, it's Pokemon.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I haven't bought it,
So
Yeah.
and I haven't bought it because I looked at it and assumed
It was Pokemon.
this is Pokemon.
I'm glad I accidentally chose correctly by getting Diamond.
So
because
what's the difference?
I always choose my Pokemon based on which one has Growlithe in.
Mm-hmm.
And I looked up Diamond and Pearl. They both have Growlithe. It's good. Good times. And then I found out that the remakes changed things.
Oh,
and that only
one-
Diamond has Growlithe. And only after you
Ooh.
finish the main game, which is annoying. Means I can't play with Growlithe in my party. But as far as Pokemon games go, I mean, they're good. It's a Pokemon game. It's the remake. From everyone I've talked to who has played that gen, which I haven't, it's faithful. And the one thing that does get me is after all the recent gens, it is actually nice to be playing a Pokemon game where there is difficulty. Like I'm actually having to think about what I'm doing to progress.
You mean
And it's nice.
Yeah.
It's not like
You don't just have your one powerful Pokemon.
Yeah, I'm not being healed every time I turn a corner.
Yeah.
Like Sun and Moon and Sword and Shield
Or
are
how
terrible for a minute.
Or how
They're not teleporting me to where I need to be.
Or where they give you the counter Pokemon in the area leading up to.
Yeah. And like the gyms.
Well, how else can they make sure you have them?
The gyms are challenging. The Elite Four and the Champion is some of the hardest battles I've ever done in Pokemon. Some of them are using like competitive teams and strategies, not just competitive team and then the AI fucks up.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, it's good. It's a good Pokemon.
Cool. How does it look?
There's a lot of good bugs.
Oh, like bugs in gameplay or bugs in the game? Like cute ones?
I mean, both, I guess. Gameplay as well. It's, I mean, I accidentally got out of bounds at one point, which was good. And the current speedrun for it is 17 minutes.
It's grid-based, right?
If you use the D-pad, it is.
Oh, okay.
But your character can just ignore the grid if you use the analog stick because you run around at boost speeds.
Sweet. Is it faster to go diagonal?
A little bit. The funny thing is, there are sliding ice puzzles, faithful to the originals, where you couldn't go diagonal. That you can go diagonal and bypass the puzzles.
That seems
good times.
That seems a bit sloppy.
There was one I was like, I'm not sure how to complete. Hold on, I can just go diagonally.
I'm gonna solve.
Yay!
That's a really odd choice.
Yeah. It's like they've done a really faithful remake, and then because it's in a new engine, it's just been thrown together. There's a lot of
it's weird,
of odd things.
Yeah. Like it's like, oh no, I'm in the ice puzzle area. Oh no, I've got these cardinal direction boots on.
And the other two good, interesting, fun things I saw is that there is a point at which one of the big bad team members, because you have your Pokemon following you, if you get into a fight in the right point, they walk away from you, but they drag your Pokemon with them, so they actually steal your Pokemon on screen. And the other one is Ekans, which
That's Snake backwards.
in Pokemon Let's Go Pikachu and Eevee, where you could have your Pokemon follow you as is a thing, and Ekans slithers along behind you.
Yeah.
In Pokemon Diamond and Pearl remakes, it's just Ekans in a pile, gliding along the ground.
Nice.
Zero animation.
Animations for suckers.
But it's like, it's the team that made Pokemon Home. They have
that
all the assets.
They have the assets.
They have every asset. They're just, it's fun.
It's, that Pokemon of the Wild sure looks like a...
Sure looks like a normal Pokemon game.
But with terrible
some
graphics.
other things.
And I don't like to pick on them much, but those graphics are terrible. Okay, so Pokemon.
It's a Pokemon.
If you like Pokemon, you'll like it.
You know if you want it.
See, I think that when I feel like a Pokemon again, I'll buy it.
Yeah.
But I played through the last Pokemon not that long ago, so I do not have the Pokemon
So when you want
itch.
one, this one is probably... If you want to hit like the nostalgia of Pokemon.
There was a hard drive article, I think, which was like review of Pokemon. It's Pokemon. You know if you like it or not.
Yeah.
It's like,
Yeah.
That's pretty much it. And my answer is no.
Yeah. Meanwhile, I've
I'm a
nearly
curmudgeon.
finished my living decks, which is fun. And then I won't know what to do with myself. I will have caught them all.
Oh, no. Okay. Let's do Paul's port update. Diddling, 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 ding, 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 ding. Okay, last episode, I told you that I had Death's Door on the Switch, and I would report on how the port is. It's very good. I also have Loop Hero on the Switch, and I can, as of tomorrow, which I'll have to wait till tomorrow to release this. Reveal. It's very good. So both these games. So Death's Door runs silky smooth. It looks sharp. Like I wasn't exactly sure because I even had like a couple of stutters when it first launched on PC. So I was like, I don't know how this will run on the Switch. Maybe they'll cap it at 30 and I'm pretty sure it's 60 the whole time. I just ran through the first couple of bosses and I'm like, yeah, this is really solid way to play. And it's portable now, so you don't have to wait for the Steam Deck. Yes, and one of the games of the year. And another game of the year, Loop Hero. It's on Switch. So Loop Hero we reviewed like March, February, something like that. So we're not going to go into it. But it's a weird roguelike idle card game thing. It made its own genre. It's pretty cool. I
appreciate that it has touch control.
It has the Switch version. Yeah, it has touch control, but it also has pretty good. Like I do pretty much use the controls.
It's pretty much perfectly made for the Switch.
Yeah, so there's a lot of like
the controls are good.
If you want to like use the menu on the right hand side, there's a button to go directly to that menu. You just hold it down and you go like that one, and it's like it's very, very fast. Except for in the camp, there's just one menu. I don't know how to access with the controls. I have to touch the screen. I don't know why. It's fine, and I'm obviously overlooking something because everything else is there, but it's not that one menu isn't intuitive. So big marks down for that. Other than that, I mean, of course it would run fine. It's just this very simple pixel-based game, but it's cool and it's perfect for the Switch. Do I have any other ports? I guess Sonic Forces on the PC is a port of the console version. I played Sonic Forces.
How is it?
A friend of mine really loves Sonic Forces. I'm like, I'm sure I touched it, but I don't remember it. Do you remember what the gimmick of Sonic Forces is?
Is that the one where it's like some dystopia?
Kinda. So the first mission basically has Sonic killed. And then there's a resistance that have come up after the world's been taken over by Eggman and his let's just call them Sinister Six. And you are a new original character you design yourself.
Forces was the one where everyone got to make their OCs.
Yeah.
And the Sonic OC world loves making OCs.
Yeah. It's a very borderline horny design process. And there's lots of costumes to unlock and abilities, and you can like trade the people you make. Like you can go and borrow someone else's to play on a level and stuff.
It's the Sonic fandom in video game form.
Yeah. It's the fact the game's 4 hours long does kind of remove the need to actually use most of those systems. But if you are obsessed with Sonic Forces with its weird resistance-y, slightly Soviet propaganda-y designs in a furry world, hey, what else are you going to do?
It's a niche, but it's a...
Oh, and it's a niche that loves to be filled. Yiff. Yeah. That's all. So let's talk about something actually substantial. And weirdly, this is the non-game in my list here. The Kid A Amnesia. I think it's Amnesia, not Amnesiac.
I think it is
weird.
Amnesia, yeah.
Because it's so Radiohead, the band, they're doing a dual re-release of Kid A and Amnesiac, which 2 albums together, doing a bunch of fancy stuff, and they decided they'd partner up with Epic Games and some other people to make a virtual exhibition. And it's free on PC and PS5. I don't know if it's on PS4 as well. And it feels like it should be in VR, but it's not. I hope they kind of patch it because it's fucking cool.
I thought it would be when I first heard about it. Like it just seems like a VR thing.
Have you found many secret things in there? Or everything pretty...
I don't know. Well, see, so the weird thing about it is, for the most part, it's like an actual video exhibition. Like I've been to what is something? Team Lab in Japan. They have like a whole building tricked out with like all sorts of video walls and projections and interactive stuff and everything. And it's really similar. So
because
like
it did feel like it was trying to be a virtual space with with stuff to just look at.
It's like it's totally real, other than the scale would be quite hard to do in real life until it's not. And it does do things where it's like, look, we're virtual. We don't have to constrain to things of reality. But especially the first section is just straight up, here is a gallery space which has been tricked out, and each sort of room and section is themed for a song. And those songs will play in lots of different ways. Like, they're not doing the same thing. Like, when the Idiotech area, there's sort of pads you can stand on in the area. And when you stand on them, it sort of isolates a different elements of the song and changes the visuals of that you're in. So you can move around and kind of explore all these different intertwining elements of the song, because that's very intertwining rhythmic sort of thing in the song. And then sort of at a certain point, you sort of can move forward. And that's when you get 3 songs in a row, which are kind of just like music videos that you're in and experiential. And it's so much better than a gallery. Because they have those sorts of things at the gallery. It's like, oh, here's the screening room. And you go like, oh, awesome. Is this a start? Or and you're like, it's fucking impossible to line up. Like, I hate rolling. Like, sometimes I go and sit in a gallery and it's like, oh, cool. Is this near the end or the beginning? It's
Oh,
like,
yeah.
oh, it's 3 hours long. And we're 40 minutes into it. So I'm just going to leave. Out I go. But this is just, obviously it starts when you go in.
Yeah.
Pyramid Song. I don't have to go through all the songs. But yeah, that's really cool. And then you move on. At one point, it's just perspective, which is another thing you can't do in real life. It's very hard to do that in real life in a gallery space, shift someone out of the first person's perspective. But you can do it in this. But it looks really good. And the weird, like, what I do like about it is that they make a somewhat real space and they play with it like literally I'm going up a stairwell and I look at the wall, like there's a projection on it. It's like, and there's a fire alarms there because they've bothered like, oh no, if this were a real space, there'd be utilitarian
there's
stuff
little
in
plaques
these rooms.
and saying, down this way there's this. And
It points you around. I love it. I really want to see more of this sort of thing. Obviously, I'm a big Radiohead fanboy, and you do have to like Radiohead to want to do this. You are going to be listening to Radiohead music the whole time. But it's really interesting. I'd love to see more, because I really like digital exhibits. Travel is still not super on the card. No. And it's also hard to do them well, because I've seen a bunch of shitty ones. And then I saw the one in Japan. I'm like, oh, this is what I want everywhere. But that place is like world famous and like top of their game. So, but this would rival it. I kind of wish some of those spaces were real places I could explore, because you can just load it up and put on headphones if you want. But I sat in my lounge room with my nice OLED TV, turned off all the lights so it was just pitch black. Because sometimes it really is just like a dot of light in the middle of the screen, and that works fucking well with an OLED. Yeah. It's cool
and free.
So yeah, you can get it on PC, get it on PlayStation. Co-made with Epic. Sweet. Okay. James, what have we got on your list? You've been playing some Halos.
I have been playing more Halos.
More of the multiplayer.
More of the multiplayer.
Which is all that's out yet.
All that's out
I think we're 3 days away from the campaign dropping.
It
should be this week. It's probably out by the time you're listening to this.
I'm still really enjoying it. I wish that they would maybe add a little bit more content. Like the maps are sort of getting a little bit samey.
That is one problem with it.
Yeah.
Because as far as there aren't really map drops until the end of the season, and they extended that season from 3 months to 6.
Yes. That's a long time to not have new maps.
Yeah, they might change the plans because of that, but we'll see.
Yeah, like I feel like that's, if anything, at the moment, what will lose me. Just the, I mean, there's benefits of having a small map pool in that you just learn the map really well. Yeah. So I don't want too much, but like it is sort of like, okay, I just would like something a bit fresh. But I found now I'm playing it to the point where I'm starting to learn the strategies more on how to play it, and so because of that, I'm starting to do better. And it's still got that, because of that super high time to kill, it's still got that element of like, it's not really about the twitch, it's about the strategy of how I play. So, I'll do more of like, oh, okay, I can see that person's going around this corner, so I'm going to go around here and flank, and I'm going to wait so I don't show up on the radar, and, and I'll race behind them and hit them in the back or something like that. Like, I feel like moment to moment I'm making more interesting decisions than if I'm playing something really twitchy, like COD or something like that. But yeah, no, I've been having a good time with it. I bought the Battle Pass.
It got ya.
It got me. Well, I thought like I'm kind of playing it enough that like yeah.
Plus, you could just live with one battle pass because they don't expire.
Yeah, that's actually one of the reasons as well. Because like, well, I can just get this one battle pass and just like,
and this game is infinite, so you've got infinity to finish it.
This will be my battle pass that I'll just have until end of time, because I'll never actually finish a battle pass.
I started smiling to myself halfway through that story, because I think I'm the only person that does this. There's something about the Halo animation when you melee that makes me think of Austin Powers going judo chop.
Yes.
You are 100% when you said run up behind them, hit them in the back, I just go judo chop. It's just pointless.
I've been pretty happy that, like, because I've been playing it on console.
Yeah.
and I am playing with crossplay, so I assume there are mouse keyboard players.
Yeah, anyone that kills you is mouse keyboard, and you can just say that and feel good about yourself.
But I've still been doing pretty well, so I feel like whatever they've done to balance that skill ceiling difference. And maybe it's because it's got that. It's not about Twitch as much that it can get away with having.
And that kind of has been the design of Halo. Like it's not about. Well, sometimes it's about headshotting people with a pistol on the other side of the map, but but yeah, it's and the maps tend to encourage people to get close quarters and
I started playing some ranked, which normally I stay away from ranked because ranked tends to be where the the people
real toxicity comes out.
Well, and the people that are good. Play and I'm not good.
And
so
the people that are angry that you're not good on their team.
But I mean, at least what I've played so far, I've done okay. And the matches I have, because they are better players, they tend to be like one of the game modes is called Oddball, which is kind of like just hold on to the ball and you get points for holding it. It really confused me first time I played it because I assumed you scored the ball, and so I'm holding this ball and like, where do I go? where's the goal?
Look, if we were to name it, we'd call it King of the Crown.
Yes, well, I think making it a ball is the problem. There's implications of holding a ball.
Yeah. If someone gives me a ball in a video game, I expect to throw it.
Yeah, I expect.
But in their defense, it is an odd ball.
It is odd.
Yeah. I think Crown.
That makes me want to get rid of it.
Yeah, it's something.
We've got a Crown game to talk about after this.
We
But
do. And when I was playing ranked, like people would stay together. Like if I held the oddball and hid somewhere, they would, defend me. So there is that. I think that's the other side of the coin when it comes to ranked. But I think I'll keep playing it because, I'm still having a good time with it. I feel like I'm getting better at it. I still have more to learn. And I don't know, like that thing being for free, it is a sweet deal. Like it's a good game.
And it scratches the itch.
Yeah. The biggest problem with it, which has caused, we'll call it controversy, is the progression, which is primarily tied to doing challenges, which doesn't mean encouraging people to play the game. It's and also because you can't select what you want to play, you get like your challenge is to capture the flag, and then you get an oddball match. It's like quit. You can only have 3 challenges at once, and so.
But I tell you what, in practice happens when people quit. They're just replaced with bots.
With a bot, yeah.
And you just get a few easy kills for a while.
Yeah. Some people are angered by the bots, but the thing is, all this thing and focus on not really leveling up, like probably a bad design for, a free-to-play living game that they want to keep people spending money on, not emphasizing leveling. For people like me that don't give a shit, it actually makes it less annoying.
Well, because I used to play a bit of Destiny 2 PvP, and I really got into it for a while. And whenever I've gone to go back to play Destiny 2 PvP, I always hit this wall of bullshit. And it's like, okay, what's the current meta? Like, what's the current gun I need to chase? Like, and dealing with the powers and things like that. And it's just nice, like, it's scratching that console shooter itch.
Well, and it's still just...
The only bullshit is completely optional. Like, it's like... It is just cosmetics. And if you choose to ignore the cosmetics, you're fine.
There's no mode with loadouts or anything either, is there? It's all just Halo. It's like you pick up the gun on the fucking thing, or you're playing gun game or something like that. It's like
they give you the starting weapon, which is passable but not that great, and then it becomes about finding power weapons and controlling power weapons, or controlling it's.
But James, why can't I have the grappling hook all the time?
It would be nice, but then it wouldn't be as special when you have it. Same with dash, like because I came from playing Halo 5 where you just have dash all the time, and I'm like mashing the button, like where's my dash button?
It's because everyone who's coming from Titanfall 2 would be wrecking the shit.
But it tells you when you get the dash and you get the hammer or the sword, it's pretty good. It's a good combo.
Everyone that's coming from Titanfall 1, since they're not selling it anymore,
they
gave up. They couldn't beat the DDoS attack, so they're like, you know what, game's over, goodbye. Yeah. Titanfall, you can't buy it anymore.
Can't buy it anymore.
Unless you find it on disc, I guess.
I think I have the disc version.
Okay.
You're gonna be rich.
Whatever I do when I feel like playing Titanfall is I play Titanfall 2.
Yes, it's a very good video game.
Yeah, it's a very good video game. But do we have any other Halo thoughts before I push it on? So on the progression thing, the design lead was like, "Yeah, I get it." It was a little bit wild, like. When you look at the design, it's like, how did it ever sort of go through? It didn't really make sense. So they added it so you get XP from playing games, and it scales down the more you play in a day. and they're going to bring in some more changes in the future.
Yeah.
But obviously, they can't do that overnight.
No, and I think the main thing I would like to see is more experience tied to playing the objectives.
Yeah.
I think that's just the main thing it needs to do. Or like, if you have a mission, which is like, get capture the flag, I should be able to play a capture the flag match.
Yes.
And, and that can push me to play the objective. Where at the moment, it's like, hey, get the flags. I'm like, well, it's...
Yeah, they probably need like custom game mode list and just, a real retooling of
or even
those
just some better
experience.
matchmaking where if it looks at my objectives and says,
you could do that in a smart way, yeah.
Just something to...
Don't give me 6 matches without the thing I need to actually do my challenge. Yeah. Okay, so that, of course, leads us on to Superliminal, which James and I played this week. James and I played, I hear you all say. Well, I don't know why you used I, because it was me. Superliminal is, of course, the sort of slightly Portal, slightly Scale, which still isn't released, slightly Anti-Chamber, a single-player puzzle game, which is all about playing with perspective and making tricks and stuff like that. And, of course, they released the Battle Royale mode.
Because why not?
Because why the not? So James and I decided to load into this multiplayer version of a single-player puzzle game, and it's weird. It started rough, and then I'd say we had fun, and then I quite really enjoyed it, and then I think we both said, well, that's good, but I don't see we would ever load it again. But what an interesting thing. So it's kind of a race. So you load in the lobby. We were just playing 2-player. Get in there. They've got clocks lying around, and if you grab one, you'll get a random power. Most of the time, you don't want it because it's going to screw you over, but sometimes you do want it. And then it just sort of throws a series of randomized levels in front of you that you need to get through. So it'd be like, basic like box stacking with the scale mechanics, which is a bit weird when you've got another person to watch, because the scale mechanics all by perspective. So if you pick up a box and then you look to the other side of the room where the box looks quite big and then you release it, it's big on the other side of the room. But if you look near the ground and close to you, you can make it really small.
Yeah, I thought it was interesting that by playing the multiplayer version, you saw how the tech worked from the other person.
Yeah. You could see it being projected out from their view. And then, just a bunch of stuff. It was quite janky, but once we sort of learned how powers worked and how to screw other people over, and here's the thing, and where I mentioned a little during the Halo thing with Oddball, after the first round, the person in the lead gets a crown. And James and I are big fucking fans of crowns.
Keep you playing for hours.
Gotta have that crown.
I can't remember. I think because I recently hosted this local video game day with Z Games. It was Go 423, and I think it was there's a golf game of like beat your friends, something your friends. Anyway, it's a golf game, but you can beat each other up. And I just said, what this game needs? It's a crown. And we have talked about the crown.
Every game like that should have a crown.
It needs a crown.
It's perfect.
Every single one of them needs it.
Nothing inspired me more motivated me more to be a bastard in Mario 3D World than that fucking crown.
Yep.
So
it's
good.
better if it's in co-op games.
Yeah. Well,
because it's the one thing that isn't co-op.
Yeah, exactly. And it's meaningless, but it's a crown.
It's meaningless and means everything.
And you'll ruin the level for both of you just to hold that crown.
Complete sabotage.
Yeah, it does something to us. I mean, I guess that's why wars were fought in the olden days.
The crown. It's all about the crowns.
Yeah. It's like, well, we don't really need Germany, but...
We just cracked it. We just
they
cracked
have a
human
crown.
history.
Yeah. It's all about flags and crowns. That's so Superliminal, really weird.
Yeah.
Don't buy it for the multiplayer, but if you have it, it's been in a bunch of bundles and everything.
It'd be a bit of a shit show with like 8 people playing.
I think it might be amazing.
Or be
terrifying.
8 people using puzzle mechanics to get to the end of a race.
And you can pick up the other person. Because I think like at one point we were playing, I just picked you up and threw you off an edge.
You've got to stand next to someone for like 4 seconds holding down B, but once you've achieved that, you can just pick them up and drop them over the edge or scale them up or down.
Yes.
That feels weird. What a thing. I'm so glad they made it. Well, they wasted their time making this amazing, stupid mode. And actually, you know what? We do need to go play this again with 8 people.
Yeah. And because like the rooms themselves, they didn't have that many of them. So I think you only get so many goes before you do just know everything.
Yeah, you know how to do it because the rooms themselves are set. They're just put in random order. So it's not like you get to this area and you're like, how do I solve it this time? It's like, I solve it the way I did last time.
Sometimes,
but with 8 people.
Some of the solutions would be if you had a particular item from a previous room.
Yes, that can really help. Because there's one room I still don't really know how I'm supposed to fix.
Yeah.
It probably tells me in single player, but it's been a long time since I played through. What a game. What a weird fucking game. Okay, let's talk about some news. Okay, we already mentioned Activision slightly, but Activision has continued to Activision it up. Sorry, Activision Blizzard. Let's not forget them both. And
not Blizzard Entertainment, but they have their own problems. There's problems everywhere.
Yeah. I mean, yes, Blizzard
all the way
Entertainment.
down.
Yeah. This week's was mainly Bobby Kotick, the star of Moneyball, which I do like to always say because it just reminds people that this man is so rich and powerful. And this shouldn't be a big thing, but it is. He gave himself a speaking role in a major motion picture, despite the fact he is not an actor. He could just do that because he's Bobby Kotick.
He's got fuck you money.
Yeah, he has fuck you money.
What's he doing? Like 150 mil a year? Was that his?
I think at least. Yeah. He makes a lot of money, and he makes other people a lot of money, which is why they like him. They probably don't like him as a human being, because
but he makes them
who can
a lot
like
of
the
money.
Lizard Man?
Yeah.
But yes, it came out that he has known about most of the shit most of the time, and then a bunch of stuff about him like threatening to kill his assistant and all this other
or
fun
writing something and then telling someone else to send it and saying that they wrote it. And
lots of shitty things. None of which was surprising to me. When I heard like there's a voice message about him threatening to have him killed or whatever, or her killed, I can't remember. I'm like, yeah, it sounds like something you'd do.
Yeah.
And the thing is, maybe it's just someone with bad anger and just saying shit, or maybe he would have them killed. It could be. It's like when I talk about Michael Jackson with people, and I go like, I don't know. I go, oh, you don't think he could be a monster? Oh no, he definitely could have. Yeah. He also I'm the full gamut of possibilities are in this space because these people aren't people.
They're no longer human.
It's like they are a different plane of existence and they have a different experience, and I don't know, they're friends with Cthulhu as far as I'm aware. Anyway, so that involved then Mark Rain coming out and speaking against him, Mr. Phil Spencer making a comment about it. I think Nintendo said something in a private email as well. Yeah, I think it might have been Bowser. I do love that Bowser is there now. So everyone like saying, hey, we're looking at our relationships, but
we'll see whether it actually does anything.
Nobody said no money, please, yet.
Yeah.
There's some rumors, but there's always rumors. I don't put much credit
It felt
in
a
them.
little bit like it's a bit of lip service to like make it like, we're gonna, leak some emails and and rethink our relationship, but in practice,
employees walk out. That can be a thing. They want Bobby to resign, and the thing is, even if Bobby resigns, what are they going to take away his actual stock in the company? He'll still be making money off their work.
But I think getting Bobby out is more.
It'll be good. It'll be a good symbolic thing to do.
Yeah, and also getting his influence out.
Yes,
and maybe hopefully replacing it with someone better, but. The board's still going to be picking whoever they put in, and will it be less of a monster than Bobby Kotick? I don't know. Maybe
it's Cobby Botek.
Just got a mustache.
He's got a fabulous mustache.
Yeah. Oh, I say, I wasn't in Moneyball at all.
I was gonna say I did find it funny that the guy Nintendo's gone after for like one of the big ROM things is also named Bowser.
Really? I hope the case comes out as Bowser v. Bowser.
Yeah.
Finally, they can base a game
Why
on
are there
that.
suddenly so many people named Bowser?
Oh, here's one I must have put in a little while, 2 weeks ago, probably. Hitman 3, I think to everyone's surprise, is having a second year of content.
Yeah.
And that's only really surprised because Hitman 3 was sort of big release. They got everything out. And then they scaled up the company to make this Bond game. It's what they're all going... And that was kind of the assumption that would be it. But no, more content coming, including porting the VR mode to PC VR, which is very well liked on PlayStation, but obviously that's a limited set of people that can play it. Like a lot of the elusive targets are sort of coming back. There's like a arcade mode with that. They've got... Do you remember what else they had?
Right.
It's been a while. Anyway, there's more stuff coming if you like Hitman. Cool. Bit unexpected. Okay. There was a Upload VR showcase.
Apparently, yeah.
But then you watch it.
I didn't even know it existed until you started posting stuff about
Well,
it.
you can watch it now. Okay, so admittedly, I only have 2 things written down: the first game they showed, the last game they showed. Everything of it, and poor game in the middle. So it started with Cities VR, and that's Cities as in Cities Skyline,
Which is the most excited I've been about a VR game in a while.
Yeah,
That sounds super chill.
Yeah.
Like I will sit on the couch
Just strap
and
it on
raise
and
a city.
come out 6 hours later.
Yeah.
building cities, putting roads, putting transport around. Yeah, it looked like, it's downgraded visually as you expect. It's Quest 2 native, but I mean, if you do VR, you have come to the realization that straight fidelity isn't that fucking important.
I mean, just the idea of like I have my city and just like zoom down and suddenly be looking up at it.
God.
Like, that's pretty cool.
Yeah. So later in the show, another company revealed a city builder, and just poor other company.
Poor other company. Yeah.
And then at the end, they showed off their first actual footage from Moss Book 2. Moss is one of the best VR games ever made. You play a little mouse, but you control a little mouse, but you're like a watcher. So it's from a cool perspective. And the thing that surprised me with that is it ended with only one platform, and that was PSVR. So it will be ported to other things. The first game was on everything, but at least launch platforms is only PSVR, and it's mid next year. So
launch title bundled with new VR.
Maybe that's some heavy speculation, but maybe or maybe not. That's the thing with
It's just long enough for them to get all their cables out.
yes,
To use your old
yeah. I got my own. Well, I mean, because it just appears. So if it's PSVR, it must technically run PS4. So, but yeah, get those free cables if you don't have one. It's a little adapter. Does great things. Okay, but otherwise you can go check it out. It was an okay show. As I said, there were 2 highlights. They were the big ones. Okay, Star Citizen has reached $400 million funded. How much money has James given?
Why?
About $120, I think.
How much money has Sam given?
0.
Good. Smart man.
Wait, I haven't done myself.
Do yourself.
And how much? Oh, I do. How much money have I given?
$200 million.
Well, $30 on Kickstarter.
Oh, because you got the...
Yeah, just the base.
The base,
I just want Squadron 42. Thank you. Fuck everything else.
Because that game, I do feel will come out. It's just not going to be that different than what it is right now. Like, it'll just reach a point where it's like, okay, version
Thanks
1.
for the money. We're done.
Yeah.
Let's start calling it Battlecruiser 3001. What does Derek Smart think of Star Citizen?
If I was like making decisions in that company, because at this point they could just give up.
No, they're scaling up.
Yeah, but they could. They could just be failed. Thanks for the money.
I think they're scaling up. Adding 1,000 people.
What they should do.
It's crazy. They just bought some big new office to add a ridiculous number of people.
It's nice that they're keeping people in the industry at least. But what they should do is they should target a release of something, something more than just what they have, for the day of Starfield. Just to confuse. Just to see if you can get the confusion out there.
Ooh.
Just, that new space game, Star whatever.
Yeah.
At some point they'll release the single player.
I feel like right at the moment, they've just made enough money to keep a lot of people in jobs.
Yeah. I mean, the best thing about it is they're spending the money.
Yeah.
It's
not like they're hoarding it.
They filmed all the FMV parts years ago now. Some of those people are dead.
I actually would not be surprised if they just run out of money. Because their burn rate would just be astronomical. Their efficiency is basically 0. I think it was only the flight model they only got in,
wasn't that long ago.
Maybe a couple of years ago?
Yeah.
They decided on this is the flight model?
It's pretty important for a space game.
Yeah, you'd think that'd be step 1, flight model.
Step 1 is...
No, step 1, lasers. You know this.
And they've still got their first-person shooter thing in there, and
that's what with their with their constant expansion and everything, with the Squadron 42 element. Whereas I say they've already shot everything, so they must be locked. Why can't you just finish that? Are you adding all these systems to the single-player thing? Do we need to have randomly generated planets full of cities that are? It's surely you just need the one city that you have a dogfight above. and then a speeder chase through, and then a actual get out of your ship and shoot stuff, because they were all the things we wanted when we said we wanted this Wing Commander game. Didn't want to go pew pew in space.
No, but what they want is that you can land on any planet and put a coffee cup somewhere, and that coffee cup will forever be there.
Yeah. Until
It's
the
very
end of
important.
time.
The object permanence is very important.
Fuck, eventually they're going to need all the memory in the universe to hold this game.
What if this is actually the start of the first simulated universe?
Oh, this is how it starts?
This is the
Oh,
That
beginning.
would explain a lot.
My dying mind got uploaded into Star Citizen, but unfortunately I wasn't in the early access to buy myself insurance.
Oh,
So it's very dangerous now.
that was the one thing I bought in there. Whatever lifetime insurance is.
Oh, fuck you. You piece of shit.
What does that mean?
Look, all that I know is that the only way you can get lifetime insurance is by buying...
I don't think you can anymore. I think they don't sell it anymore.
Was to buy... I think they called it like a war bond, which was to buy a JPEG that eventually would be a ship.
So this is an
Why are
NFT.
they-
No.
Yeah, hold on.
Oh,
a
no,
second.
but it's just an FT.
It's
an
a
FT.
centralized
Yeah.
FT.
Now,
Yeah.
so what this thing is though is it's actually a token.
Yeah.
We already
Is it
said that.
fungible or not?
because this lifetime insurance is transferable to other ships.
Yeah,
so what
they've
people
centralized NFTs
so-
before NFTs
so,
became big.
So what people do is they buy these $50, $60 ships with the lifetime insurance, but then you can kind of transfer it
So the
into
ship's
to
got the
progressively.
insurance. You don't have the insurance. The ship.
The ship has the insurance, and that can be used and transferred to other bigger ships.
Okay.
So it's like a buy-in
Yeah.
to
But what does it get you?
it gets you lifetime insurance.
Well, what is
It means when
If
when
your
the
ship
ship gets
explodes
blown up,
up.
you don't lose all your shit.
Yeah.
Okay, but that implies a world where
You lose your
can be
shit
blown
when you-
up, and
yes.
B,
Yeah.
you can lose your shit.
Yes, which instantly was like, well, I don't want to play this fucking game. Because there'll just be people sitting outside every starport
It's just worse.
with
Eve.
big old
We've
lasers pointed
seen
at everyone.
Eve.
Yes.
It's been done in Eve.
And it's been
And
done
it's
in
good
Conan
fun.
as well, where you sat on the side of a mountain kicking people off with a horse.
But I remember what Star Citizen had recently was their whole adrenaline or whatever it was stuff. The system.
Oh,
where
people-
if you used it too much.
Yeah, people were
you
killing
got
each
addicted
other.
and you died from your
Yeah.
addiction, from withdrawals.
Oh,
So people were
yeah.
using the healing items on other
Yeah.
people.
So they're killing each other inside the no-kill zones.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because they were healing them.
Yeah.
Fucking- Sometimes systems just
Like,
have
I, s-
restrictions for a reason.
I still haven't found a way to have fun in it yet. I can still load up...
Fun? What the fuck do you
I
want
know
that
one
for?
person who very, very much enjoys doing low orbit flights. That's bad.
Yeah, well, I think maybe when the flight model is feels really good, but so whenever I play it, I always compare the flight model to Elite, and the flight model in Elite is really, 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 really good, and the flight model in Star Citizen is and until that feels really, 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 really good, I find it difficult to want to spend time in it, especially because I may just randomly clip through my ship and die, and the performance is just so bad.
Yeah, but it's min spec 32 gig of RAM, isn't it?
Yes. No, I actually think it's 16.
Which nothing
But-
else needs.
yeah.
Except maybe
But
Cubase.
It's
I mean, sometimes I use that much when I'm editing.
But you don't need that much. It just
No.
helps.
I just happen to use it. Yeah. Okay, let's move on from this terrible, terrible future. Speaking of terrible, terrible futures, MultiVersus, which we mentioned last time, got announced. And that's Warner Brothers' new Let's Fight Gandalf against Arya from Game of Thrones game. So you can do that. And my excitement went as soon as it was free to play. Because I was like, I don't think this business model works with this gameplay. But let's find out. Maybe.
It
You
might.
it might just be costumes.
could be
Or
Shaggy or
it
Scooby-Doo.
could be that kind of rolling free character thing. I don't mind it when they do
Could
that.
be, but it also kind of, I don't know. So what lost, lost PlayStation Battle Royale All Stars, whatever it was called, and the Nickelodeon one that came out recently, and everything, is that most people that play Smash play it kind of silly. They turn on the items and they go, and if you start getting too monetizing and focused on actual matches and everything, well, you have the fun part, the silly part, the I'm just Wii Fit trainer and I'm just going to stand there and hula hoop away as soon as anyone tries to hit me. Fun.
Down B spam on Kirby.
Yeah. So maybe it'll be there. I just get a little bit. I haven't seen that gameplay with that business model yet. Maybe it'll be fine, or maybe it'll just be another MOBA that I'm not interested in. It won't be a MOBA. It'll be something else. But either way, Scooby-Doo, Shaggy. You got your Game of Thrones in there, which was I didn't think we knew about before. Got Lord of the Rings. Got...
I guess there's Bugs Bunny in there.
Yeah, Bugs in there. No Harry Potter, which was what was rumoured, but we haven't seen the full list yet, so maybe. And Batman and Wonder Woman, and so they've actually found a decent art style that sort of ties all that stuff together. I didn't think it was bad at all. I was like, oh, that looks cool. I wish I could give you money instead of no money. What a weird world we live in. Anyway, Epic Games made an acquisition. They acquired one of my favorite developers, Harmonix. Yay! Back to mainstream music games, Harmonix.
No.
Nah, they're a Fortnite support studio. They're going to put cool music content in Fortnite.
Yeah.
Which is cool.
Arguably pretty cool.
For people
They're
who
doing
are...
some cool stuff.
Yeah. Did you see their new season? The world's flipped over?
I mean,
No.
say what you want about the game. They're fantastic at doing
I don't
their
even know what the
seasons.
game is anymore. Maybe I do need to get into Fortnite.
It's wild. So what they did, the whole map literally flipped. Like the island has flipped. So it's a new island on the other side.
Okay.
But now when you play, it's like there's like spirits from the other side giving you quests.
What?
None of the shit on the island is labeled until you've been there.
What?
The
it's-
the XP system is not.
It's wild.
It's not tied to Battle Royale anymore.
I have no
So
idea what the game is.
You
anymore.
can set up camps that persist between matches.
Oh yeah. So there's a tent item, and if you put the tent item down, you can put other items in it. And then the next time you play a match, if you go to that same spot, your tent is there. You can get your items out.
What?
Exactly. I don't actually know what this is. It might actually be cool.
Like the absolute core main part of it is still
It's still 100
Fortnite.
people.
It's still Battle Royale
Yeah.
Fortnite. At its very core, but there is so much around it now.
They added Spider-Man and web swinging.
Yeah. It's
So
it is literally just a platform at this point.
So the thing that's always kept me away from it is the building tied with the battle royale part being crazy. And
Spider-Man doesn't need to build.
That is still somewhere in the core, but you really don't have to.
So I am now more interested in loading this thing back up and
You
seeing.
can go fishing. That's been there for
highly
a while.
recommend.
What? But
Like if you want to,
what? Would you fish? But you get shot.
They have non-combat modes.
So load it up and go to custom maps.
Okay.
Go to custom lobbies. It is Roblox at that point.
Okay.
There is some insane stuff people have done.
Should we become
It's actually
Fortnite
nuts.
people?
Like it is no longer just the battle royale everyone hated on. It is just a platform at this point.
Okay. I think I do need to check it out
Yeah.
because as far as I knew, it was still just battle royale.
It is the first thing that I would be willing to actually call a metaverse. Like as it
Take
currently
that,
stands.
Zuck?
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's
That's-
nuts.
Okay.
Some of the shit they're pulling is nuts.
All right.
And I can't wait to just be running around in the default skin and all the kids angry at me.
Yeah,
Like, if
bloody
I-
no skinner.
Yeah, like, I don't care. Watch me swing around in my
But don't-
non-skin.
Don't you want to be the Rock?
Yeah, the Rock's in there too, isn't he? Yeah. I mean,
Master
everything
Chief's in there, isn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah. And it is interesting because, like you're saying, the metaverse
It's
thing.
just pulling
There's so
in
many
so
like
many
cross
licenses.
licenses you can do now, like from quite serious properties to very silly properties, and they can all exist in the same space. It is.
It was wild.
Fucking
It was
Oasis.
Earlier this year, they added Kelsier, who is a main character in a Brandon Sanderson book.
Oh,
That like, they're my favorite novels ever. And it's like, oh, Kelsier's in Fortnite. I was like, what the fuck? Turns out because his kid's just a huge fan of it, and Sanderson knows the people that make Fortnite. He was just like, hey, do you want to just chuck my character in the game? Sure, why not? So
God.
it seems like at this point, it's just
It
half
is-
the time they're not even having to make deals to get things in the game.
Yeah,
Just
yeah,
like
yeah.
they're being asked. They're like, can you put our
Well, that's the
character in
thing.
this
It's
game?
like, yeah, because if they can make it a deal with that, it's like, oh, look, you can have the rights to use the character, you put it in
Yeah.
the game, and that's also advertising for me. So, like,
Yeah,
it works
win-win.
both ways. Yeah.
Win-win.
Yeah. Cool.
It's insane.
All right. I need to. and
But
it's-
I still wish Harmonix was making another music game.
Yeah.
but it's still not on iOS.
Yeah, no.
Yeah. Like
no,
it's still,
probably never will be
Yeah.
again. But it also kind of shows that while iOS is obviously a massive platform, it obviously wasn't that important to their business model.
Otherwise, they'd be back. Yeah.
I think PlayStation was the most profitable
think so,
platform
yeah.
last I
PlayStation
heard.
was-
Yeah. Cool. Oh, we mentioned Starfield before. I mentioned that Starfield released a big long trailer to say nothing.
Yeah.
So go watch that if you.
Something more grounded. I remember they used the word grounded.
Yeah.
Like it's not as going to be off the wall.
Compared to what?
Compared to Skyrim, I guess.
Was that off the wall?
They won't have that one joke about the knee.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Yes.
Look,
It showed, I guess, the art style a bit.
we've seen some art
It
from it.
talked about that a
more
little bit.
about it.
All I want to, like, honestly, the only kind of thing that I'm interested in beforehand, because otherwise I can't extrapolate most of it, is like, are there planets?
Yeah, well, so there was something.
Yeah, or are there locations on
where
planets?
Todd
Yeah.
was being mysterious.
Yeah, he's very mysterious.
And he said, "Oh, there's still the walkout moment where you walk out of the vault and you see." But he likes to think to be cryptic. There's two.
Yeah.
There's a second.
So it's the first
It's
one.
the bit you get to the planets.
Yeah.
Like it's not hard to figure out. There'll be the bit where you walk onto the one planet, and there'll be the bit where you have access to more planets. Yeah. And they're your two layers.
Yeah.
This isn't complicated.
It could be like walking out into a space station, like, oh, this is awesome, and then like the window then opens up and you see the solar system around
And
you.
you're
It's
like, yeah.
yeah. Either way, it's going to be a scale change. There.
Yeah.
But it's still just like, okay, everyone keeps saying it's Skyrim but bigger, but if they literally make planets, it's too big unless they're like Outer Wilds planets, which I don't think you would
Which are
do
too small.
because you want things that are you want it more grounded. So what's our actual scale?
Yeah.
here?
Yeah,
I just kind of want
It plonks it purely in Outer Worlds.
where
Where there's locations.
yes,
Yeah.
which is what I expect.
That's what I'm
but I think
expecting
is
as
actually
well.
going to disappoint people.
Yeah, I'm expecting it'll be big locations, and
Yeah.
they'll be like, here's a planet and it's big, here's a planet and it's big, here's a planet and it's big, and maybe
Yeah.
there's like 5 or 6 planets, because like in practice, like how many?
Yeah,
you
there's a
planets-
limit.
Yeah, especially how they like to make games, which is take a big area and fill it with crap.
Well, also that's kind of my thing because one of the things with planets, especially uncolonized planets or barely colonized planets, is that most of the planet doesn't have anything.
No.
Yeah.
So it's
Barren and
not
empty.
necessarily that good to explore, which is why you want to have more locations. You want it to be almost original Fallout-y. You want
Yes,
to be
yeah,
like,
yeah.
you zoom out to travel between places and then you just come in
Come
close
in,
when
yeah.
it's at. But I feel like that's not their MO.
No.
So I'd like
Yeah.
to...
I mean, they are pretty good at making like small feel big.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
so maybe
But
they.
it is a bigger big.
But it is a different level of big.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'd say I'm expecting areas.
Yes,
Yeah,
me too.
Yeah.
But I'd just like to be clarified because I can only take someone telling me it's just Skyrim in space so many more
What does that
times
mean?
before we actually want clarification on a few
Yeah.
key points. But that's all right. Teardown is finally out. So Teardown, the weird voxely break everything apart game, which sort of released with half the campaign. Now it has the full campaign. One of the big bits of feedback, which people might like to know, is that one of the criticisms of the first half of the campaign was there were a lot of levels that are sort of time-based missions where you have to sort of set up what you're going to do and then race through it. Those missions are now in the minority compared to other missions. So a lot more smashing system stuff, new locations, new weather effects. I think I partly forgot, and also they did some great work. It looks fucking beautiful,
It
that
does.
game.
It's gorgeous.
I just go, like, ooh, who needs super
Like,
high
squares
fidelity?
have never looked better.
Yeah, it's very cool. If you want to take a sledgehammer to some walls and knock some shit down, Teardown's the way to go. There's my ad. Money, please.
Paul, you ask for the money first.
That's why I don't get any money. Okay, I think this sums up the story. The dumb lawsuit against Valve by the Wolfire dude got dismissed. Yeah, no shit, because it was a stupid lawsuit.
What was this lawsuit?
This was the lawsuit where the man that is in charge of Wolfire and also started Humble. So let's remind us that these people sell Steam keys. Thought it was unfair that if you generate keys to sell elsewhere, which you are allowed to do under Steam, if you sold them for a price less than you do on Steam, you then have to offer a similar discount on Steam within a time frame.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, yep.
And he thought that was
That
like...
just sounds okay and fine.
Yeah. Considering you get to bypass fucking everything when you're selling it elsewhere, it's just like Steam just knows that most people will want to buy it on Steam.
Yeah.
So they're like, well, you just have to be...
Yeah.
You have to be fair price-wise with us.
It is ludicrously easy to
Yeah.
make keys for Steam. Like, it's a
Push of a button.
You push it a button, like, here's 10,000 keys.
Yeah. And they're fine with it.
Yeah.
And it's like, you literally own a store that sells Steam. You don't think everyone can see what you're doing?
Yeah.
Like, even though they sold to IGN, I'm pretty sure he's still in charge. Like, he's still got a high position there. It's like, yeah, this isn't going to fly. This, out of all the unfair practices in gaming, this ain't one of them. This is anyway. So that's done. Okay, PlayStation is apparently is developing a service to take on Game Pass. But about the only actual detail that seems to be out is that they won't be having like their big exclusives on it.
Well, what's the point then?
Yeah, but that's why you have Game Pass.
Yeah,
That's the entire reason.
that's the big thing
to do it.
Like, it gets me in, like, if they can get all my indie games on there. But currently, at the moment, the ecosystem has become, I play my big exclusives on PlayStation, and everything else gets on Game Pass on my PC, basically. Or my Switch.
Have you tried...
I want Game Pass on a Switch, please.
Have you tried xCloud yet?
No, not yet.
Yeah.
I did have access to it, but I just haven't.
Yeah, it's really good. Like, it works really well, because, like, with my Xbox, I just look through, here are all the games on Game Pass, and if it's got a little cloud next to it, you just go, play, please, and then it just streams it. It just, beautiful. Like, it works really well.
Oh, so I'll see. I'll try it, and I'll get my hat in the ring. Devolver has done some acquisitioning. They've acquired Dodge Roll, makers of Enter the Dungeon. Nariel, who make Reigns and the upcoming Card Shark, which is early next year, which I'm very excited for. And Firefly Studios, who do the Stronghold series. So now that they are an incredibly successful publicly traded company...
I really wanted to see a Devolver Digital take on Stronghold and what that is.
I think it'd probably just be more Stronghold,
Maybe.
honestly.
Yeah. Feels like their acquisitions would be the kind of ones where they're just like, thanks, you're with us now.
Yeah, you
need to worry.
Yeah, you do the thing you do.
Do whatever
and
it
give
is.
us some of the money. Steam had its highest concurrent users ever, 27 million a week or so ago.
Quite a few.
Quite a few. Which of course leads I think this is my last big bit of news, which is during the Black Friday sales, I was looking around at all the things to buy, but mainly I was looking for a cheap copy of 13 Sentinels. And I almost bought it a few times, and I'm like, I know Cheryl, that's James's partner, played it. It's like, let's check what she thinks about it. I might have a physical version, I'm not sure. And then, at that very moment, the Lord said, Paul, hold your fucking horses. We're bringing this to Switch next year. And Paul said, I am a whore for the Switch. So Paul's going to wait and play 13 Sentinels on the Switch because it seems just right. Apparently that game was originally in development for the Vita.
Oh,
yeah, it makes sense.
So it'll fit very nicely on the Switch.
Yeah. Paul, there's a part of me that says if they release the Vita version, I'd still buy that over the Switch version. Because there's the Switch is good portable. But you know what?
But it's not the Vita.
Yeah, it's not a small, very easy to hold for hours, good for VNs Vita. I literally grabbed my Vita again the other day because I was because earlier in the year when I played through Axiom Verge 2, so I should play through Axiom Verge again. And on the Switch it was like on sale. I'm like, I'll just pick up this device over here and started Axiom. And I'm like, the Vita is still an awesome bloody console. I like it a lot. Okay, let's go back to some video games. I've got a lot of video games. I'm going to shoot through some video games.
Paragraph you've got. Let's
talk about Cosmic Top Secret. This is a game that came out a couple of years ago. It won some award at the IGF. I think it might have been in the running for the grand prize. Actually, I'd never heard of it before, and it's a very, very weird game. For one, the genre is documentary. Not too many games fall under that. And it is the main character T is also the developer of the game, and the story is about her, and more importantly, her parents. She is Dutch, and her parents were part of the Dutch Secret Service during the Cold War. And this game is about her exploring her parents' activities in the Secret Service. To the extent that apparently the game required to be cleared by the military before they were allowed to release it. And it's it's real, and it's kind of cool because it's like very human, like she's just sitting down with her dad chatting. But most of the game is a 3D platformer, and you go around exploring and finding pieces of evidence, and everything in the world is sort of paper cutout style, and you move by rolling yourself into a scrunched up ball of paper and just rolling around the world, probably because it's easier to animate. And it's very difficult to explain what you're doing, because each thing is kind of like you pick up a piece of information and it might be like a very small mini game, or it cuts to some footage of like a real video of your dad but a South Park talking head on the other side, and you can choose like dialogue options or something like that. It's very varied and loose and freeform, trying to create this picture of this time in history. And it was only like $1.50 on the Switch. Normally it's a bit more than that, but it was on sale. But it often has pretty heavy sales because whilst it's interesting and good, extremely niche. Like Like, if you want surreal documentary into the Dutch Secret Service, it's one of your top 3, definitely. But yeah, it's a hard sell. But I have not finished it. I'm only 2-3 chapters in. But it's interesting. I'm like, okay, what here are you talking about your personal childhood with them, and now like you're alluding to like what your actual activities during the Cold War were. It's kind of nice thinking about spies are actually still people. Yeah, very interesting game. Cosmic Top Secret. It's somewhat recently on Switch, but it's on pretty much every platform.
It's the kind of like single person knowledge that really does deserve to be archived.
Yeah,
it's an interesting choice of the medium.
Yes, exactly. Like why choose game as it and everything. I thought I'd just show the guys a second, just some sort of here's a PS4 trailer for it because it's on everything. Just to show them some footage.
It's this one. I think you put a couple of screenshots.
Yeah. It's
wild.
Fucking weird. Not like it's very pastiche collage sort of style, but it's not ugly.
No.
It's all sorts of fun wankery. But yeah, Cosmic's Top Secret. Check it out if you want something that's really unique. And yeah, as I say, the sales are pretty deep. So if you're not sure, just have a check. Wait for it. Sam and I, we've been playing Bubba Is You.
Yeah.
Because there's been a huge content drop.
Add that to the list of games of the year this year that I've already made game of the year at some point.
Yeah, previously been.
Okay, so but before you tell us anything about it, can you just give me some of the new words?
Pet, has, eats is one. There's phrases like facing, in front of, next to. There's a lot of very interesting new things they're doing. It's bonkers.
I've seen none of it because I decided to restart my save because I couldn't remember how to do anything, and I'm trying to beat the main game again.
Yes, I did that about a month ago, and I was like halfway through, I think, of beating the main game again. God damn, I've done those puzzles and they're still stumping me. It's a good choice to do that because the new puzzles just assume you know things, and boy are they difficult. They get challenging almost immediately.
I find that Bubba Is You is just too hard for me. Like
it's insane.
It is a difficult game and it makes me feel dumb.
But doesn't it feel like make you feel like a genius when you actually solve it?
No, I just get frustrated and go, I don't want to feel dumb.
See, I find that interesting because one of the core reasons I like it is because of my programming brain. Which James is a programmer.
Yeah, but he's not a good one.
Okay, there it is then. He's not good at logic programming characters.
Have you seen word laces? It's just drawing a line back and forth.
Yeah, some of the other stuff they've now done is Baba is you, KK is you too, and you've got analog and D-pad for 2 different characters.
Oh shit!
Like, it's wild. And the best one is Baba is 3D.
Oh, I've seen.
You ever wanted to play the old Maze screensaver, like Windows 95 Maze? It's that.
Yeah,
that's cool.
Yeah.
I was speaking to a friend of ours that is currently working on a puzzle game, and we were discussing the imminent content drop. He goes, "It's not really fucking fair, is it, that the one of the best designed games in history just drops another game its same size on top of it for free, and you're supposed to fucking compete with that?" Yeah, fair enough. It's a fair cop. Wild. Yeah. So if you own Bubba Is You, you can go check it out. If you don't, you should, because Bubba Is You is amazing.
So what it is, it's a whole new level pack of worlds. Yeah. Something like 100 and something new levels. And then there is a separate world, which is levels in air quotes, but it's a lot of it's dev commentary on the main game levels.
Okay.
So what it is they put you into early versions or their iterations of some of the levels in the main game with little signs that have commentary about things they might have changed and stuff like that. Which is really nice to look at kind of the process of creating.
Yeah, that might just be worth going through on.
But even some of those levels are hard to do.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
And then there's a full level maker editor. You can just make your own. And there's an online.
What are you playing on?
PC.
Okay.
Yeah. I have it on Switch as well, but I got the PC copy.
Yeah, I just wanted to see on the PC what the level sharing. I mean, on the Switch, what the level sharing was like.
I imagine it's the same because there's a curated here's all the most popular.
Oh, good.
And you can go through the most popular list, and then it's just level codes to get to specific ones.
Oh,
a bit like Mario Maker.
Yeah, that sounds good. Cool. So Bubba is you. One of the best games of all time. Now with some more of it. Exo 1. Exo 1 is a game... When would we have first seen it? It's been at PAX at least the last time, which puts it 2 years ago, because PAX ain't happened for 2 years. It's an Australian developed, and I heard a good description, which I'm stealing here, which is Christopher Nolan's Flappy Wings. Or was it Flappy? No, Tiny Wings. Tiny Wings. So you are a spacecraft. It's just a ball. It's one of those things you go like, ball. Much easier to animate.
Physics are a lot easier on it too.
Yes, because it's very physics driven. So you're exploring these alien planets primarily. It does change a little bit, but I don't need to go into that. You can explore that when you play the game. And it is tiny. So it is Tiny Wings. The technology in this spaceship is a gravity drive that makes gravity 10 times what it really is. So you get on a downslope and you go activate gravity and you go... And then you release it and you shoot up the other side into the sky and you fly around. And then you can also squish your ball out and you can glide for a little while. And you run out of juice and then you can dive. And there's a few moves, but it's kept pretty simple. I think by the second or third level, you've got all the moves you're going to be using, really. And in that, it's like first level's just sort of hilly. And then they go... I would imagine they're somewhat randomly generated, but I think there's bespoke content on the levels. Like they got certain structures and everything they built that you follow, and there's sort of a path that you go through. And you just sort of go through the level and get to the end and move on to the next level. There's nothing really too deep about it. It's quite meditative. It looks really nice. The alien landscapes feel really foreign and aggressive to you sometimes, even though I don't believe there's any way to fail in the game. Like if you do somehow get yourself up against like a straight wall, which it doesn't really want you to, you just got to go up the wall. Like, it doesn't feel bad or anything. It's like, this isn't a game about fucking you over. It's a game about being a cool ball on alien planets. And there's a bit of a story that's fed through you primarily in between the levels. Whilst there is some chatter and everything that happens during the levels too. But it's just kind of fun to go through. It's only a few hours long, but here I go again. Yeah. It's on Game Pass.
There we go.
It's Aussie. So
go get those Microsoft dollars eventually.
Go get an Aussie game on Game Pass. That's the thing. Like, I probably wouldn't have taken the plunge to buy it.
But Game Pass.
But now, and if you're not on Game Pass, it is like if you like Christopher Nolan's Tiny Wings, because it does have that tone, and that is literally what the gameplay is, except more forgiving than Tiny Wings. It's just kind of like a chill out in space game, which is sometimes nice. Good. That's what I kind of like. Game Pass kind of just like you can have higher budget experiential games because I get a lot of that stuff on itch for free, but most of that stuff is one person, no budget sort of thing. This is like still years of someone's work, and they've put some actual money into it, and there's good sound design, and there's stuff that you can't really afford to do if you don't have some money coming in, which hopefully the Game Pass deal got them. Yeah. Okay. Oh, yeah. Okay. Paul's VR section. Okay. Yuki. Yuki is a game you can play on the VRs. I think it's on multiple VRs. I was playing it on the Quest. It was provided to me by anyway, let's say publisher.
It's this guy.
The PR, by the PR. This guy I know is back of a truck. He said, "Hey, you want Yuki?" I'm like, "Oh, anime chicks, sure." So what this is a bullet hell shooter with one twist. And I have seen this kind of in one other game, but I think this is the best information I've seen. So when it comes to dodging in bullet hells in VR, having a big stream of bullets come at you doesn't necessarily feel great when you move around. So you don't exist in this world. What you are is a person holding an action figure in front of you. And that action figure is your avatar in the world. So all you've got to do when the wall of bullets come at you is navigate them through the best you can.
Which I think was the Shooty Skies thing, wasn't it?
Yeah, Shooty Skies did it a bit
that
similar.
Immediately feels better than the thought of having to dodge shit with my head.
Yes.
Which is every other VR
Because whilst you might want to move your head to get a better perspective or something, like I like being mobile and everything, I don't want to have to do bullet hell movement with
No,
my head,
yeah.
like up, down.
I don't need to break my neck playing
Yes,
VR.
yes, exactly. And then you also shoot from the character, so you're shooting things, dodging things, and you can like freeze everything. There's a few abilities like that. The only problem I sort of had with so it's sort of roguelike-ish. As you play, you get currencies and you unlock. Basically, all the unlocks just give you things that you'll now encounter out in the world. So different powers you'll pick up but sort of like things that might have a negative, like that sort of perk system and everything. It's very solid and everything. But like the first time I played it, I got like halfway through the game. I'm like, this doesn't seem... I'm quite bored for a lot of it until suddenly I wasn't bored because there were way too many bullets. I'm like, okay, I feel like the balance is a little bit off here. But as far as the core concept goes, and and you can ramp up the difficulty a bit more as you unlock more stuff and you get different characters and everything. It was still very fun. I was like, run base means I got to sit down. For me, if you do a full run of this game, probably going to take, I don't know, I lose time in VR. Yeah. Feels like the first run I did was like at least half an hour long.
That's a long time in VR.
Yeah. And I had a big VR night though. So I did Yuki, sorry. I did Yupitergrad, which I actually bought a little while ago, but I've been sick and I haven't really done any VR. And James, you love it. It's a very fast sort of racing game with a grappling hook in corridors. And sometimes you go very vertical.
I already want to throw it.
And you get your two little plungers. They're like plungers, and you go funk, and then you go whee.
Yep, I want to throw up now.
And you throw yourself forward, and it's pretty good. But even me, with my increasingly steel stomach, I lasted like 20 minutes, maybe a bit longer.
I think I'd do the one movement and nope out.
It's pretty good.
Yeah.
I would immediately be gone.
You think that's good? You should play The Climb 2.
I have the Climb 2.
Oh, why did you buy The Climb 2?
Because I didn't...
You didn't know yet?
I didn't know. I hadn't played The Climb 1.
So if people aren't aware of James's James specifically dislikes games where you pull yourself up vertically, which is
a game
the whole
called The Climb.
of what The Climb is.
Yeah. It was reviewing very well, and
it's a very good video game.
It's a very good game. It's just the moment... I think I did the tutorial.
Well, that's good.
I got through that, but I forced myself through it. And I think after about 15 minutes, I had to lie down.
It was my night of VR. It was the one that broke me.
Climb 2 was.
Yeah. I was like, you know what? I'm done for a bit. I'm gonna go lie down and listen to some music or something.
At what point do we have like vertical Omni treadmills?
Yeah.
So
because that would make it fun.
We need some sort of bungee straps.
The second you have like a fucking rock climbing wall that moved as you did.
How about just something that like grazes down your face as you go up?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
You just need the lifting motion though.
No. So all we do is we just get like electric sander and put it up there, and as you go up, it goes.
It's the low budget version.
That hurt a little bit, just like I was climbing a real rock face.
You either get motion sick or you lose your face.
Yeah. One of the two. Perfect. Okay, what else was in this night? Squingle, which was on App Lab. So if you don't know about App Lab on Quest, basically they made an official way for you to get completely not non-compliant, but non-official Oculus games and applications in the headset. You don't have to use third-party software or anything. The difference is you can't fucking find them. You have to use the internet to find out what they're called, and then you can search for them.
Also, the approval process is very slow.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So like, even though it's like anyone can apply and pretty much anyone can get through to get onto App Lab, do not expect it to go through fast.
No. What sort of times are we talking about?
In the office
several months?
Not several months. Well, for us, for Sky, I think it was... But we were like very early.
Yeah.
I think it was about 6 weeks.
Yeah.
But now I don't really know. I think like I've heard people complaining about it. Like it's long enough for that. So it's like it's a sideload, the ability to sideload stuff, but it's not completely like unregulated. Like like there's still
Steve is sat in the office hitting approve.
Yeah. So that was just a basic. It was sort of like, you know, the old ring games where you have like an electrified bit of wire and you've got to move it through. It's a little bit like that, except you're inside blobs and you've got to sort of move your hand through blobs to get to the exit. It's got some sort of clever things because the element you're holding inside the blobs will like rotate, which means you've got to sort of time it and get it through like smaller channels, and then you might get something that reverses. Or it sounds more complex than it is. Yeah, it's just a cool little thing, but it was more to talk about App Lab. And speaking of App Lab, I believe this is out in a beta now. And proviso, this is a game made by, well, I'd say friend of ours, but I'd say he's more friend of yours, and he tolerates me. So somebody we know.
Just a bit more than that.
Well, that's nice. I don't like to think too highly of myself, but he's a nice fella. And there's other people we know involved as well. This is, in fact, have both of you worked at this place?
I haven't.
No, James used to work here.
I've specifically not worked at this place.
Yes. So this is Sponge Games, Liquid Animation.
So you know Sean, do you?
I know Elliot.
Sorry, you know Elliot. Okay,
I have met
I was wondering
Sean
what the
several
connection
times.
was. Yeah, okay, it's Elliot. Okay.
But Elliot's my best friend.
Yeah.
Yes, Elliot is
And
one of the
Elliot
people.
is the person who has done most of the work on this game.
Yeah. Sorry.
And Elliot was the one who hooked me up with the pre-beta access, but I believe beta is out now. The game is called Dead Second, which is actually my only criticism. Very hard to Google. Yes. There's a lot of other games with similar names. So, Elliot, that's my only negative feedback. Because this game's fucking cool. And I don't say that because I know him. I say it because it's fucking cool. It's a shooter. It's a gallery. But think a little bit more like Time Crisis. But then with... It's teleport, because you teleport to positions as you go along a level. And they're pretty decent-sized levels going through corridors and warehouses and sewers and all sorts of stuff. Good gun handling on the whole. You actually have to use the sights if I want to shoot someone in the head, which is kind of nice, and I can't just hoodwink it because it doesn't auto-aim for me. But just... It's just got a really good feel. And what I loved... If I put my other hand underneath my gun hand, I put two hands on the gun and game, and it steadies my aim. I'm like, yeah, I'm a cool John Wick fella now. Just really good gunplay. As I say, it's early, so it's not out officially yet or anything, but it looks really good, plays really well, and it's probably like I love Pistol Whip, but Pistol Whip's a music game, and you're set with that. For a more like organic actual shooting,
Like I want to feel like John Wick.
Yeah, it's probably my favorite. Less like straight up, I want to shoot bad guys in the head game. I'm not particularly good at it, and it's all just pistols. And it's only one pistol at a time, at least as far as I've got in the game.
Yeah, so completing levels gets you a score, which gives you money, which then allows you to buy other types of pistols. Yeah. Some of which are bonkers.
Yeah. Like there's a 3-shot, and there's a full auto, and there's like a...
There's one in there that's a single shot before reload, and it's a one-hit kill on headshots. Yeah. If you really want to feel like John Wick, that's the one.
Yeah. Oh yeah, you got to do your little down flick to reload. Yeah, it's just really, really solid. I recommend you check it out if you are a VR person. And I think that's most of the VR games that... screw it. I didn't need to talk about that. Anyway, Sam, you've also been playing other things.
I have.
You've also been playing Forza Horizon 5.
That's the thing I've been playing the most of.
Oh, is it? Good.
I think I've tanked about 60 hours in it.
Fuck me. Because James and I touched it, and I remember my thoughts were about 2 minutes long because I had not played very much. But 60 hours, you say?
Yeah, in the last 2 weeks.
How positive is the game now?
What do you mean? How positive was it before?
It's extremely positive. Is it still telling you? Is it still telling you that you're wonderful all the time?
I love it.
Would you say it's good for your mental health?
Probably. No, what it is, and I don't know why I've never touched a Horizons game. Like this is the first time I've booted one up, and I booted one up because a friend of mine was playing it, and it was like, "Hey, just come join us." Like,
yeah,
okay,
why not? It's Game
Just
Pass.
give me some time to download 100 gigs. But yeah, it's on Game Pass, so might as well. And it. Like, for a very long time, I've had this, like, missing part of my game. And legitimately, like, when I was much younger, I used to, like, Smuggler's Run. Old Rockstar game. I used to just drive around in that, not doing the missions. Midtown Madness, I think, was another one. Old PC, driving around London in a Mini. Like, there is a part of me that has always just liked just driving around in games.
Yeah. Did you have a Burnout Paradise period?
A little bit, yeah. And like Destruction Derby was a big part of like games I played when I was younger.
Because for me, this whole series feels like the continuation of Burnout Paradise. Like it's
and like for some reason it never clicked with me that that's what it was. That it was just open world car game.
Just
like,
driving around and fucking
like
around.
it's the only thing you need to know about it. and it just never clicked with me. It's like, oh yeah, I would fucking love this, and I do fucking love it.
Yeah.
It's a very zen experience.
And then they hit me with like, oh, there's fucking gacha spins, and they get cars and shit. It's got a $2 million Bugatti. Let's drive that around for a while.
There's
great.
I know I don't know if they fixed it yet, but there was some sort of system where you get a certain spin with a certain car, but
they have fixed that. It was a Jeep. There was a small Jeep you could buy for like 70,000 credits, and it cost you 5 of the upgrade points to get to a super spin, which is the big, like, you get 3 things. So you're guaranteed to get your credits back, plus rare cars, plus more.
Yeah.
And then you could sell the car. And when you sell the car, it gives you your points back to upgrade. Then you buy another one and
do it again. Yeah. So there's a car gifting system, but the only car you'd ever get was that Jeep.
Yeah. That's fixed. I think what they did is they've changed it so the upgrades are now, even if you get rid of a car, those upgrades are
sold
if
out.
you get it
Okay,
again, it's still locked in place. But
simple
than that,
fix.
it's pretty good.
Yeah. I mean, it's.
I like that I don't really have to know that much about cars.
No.
But I can put it in almost full sim mode because I like to drive a lot of the stuff off.
Yeah.
But I don't want to have to worry about all the tuning. So
Yes.
I'm just like, someone else has made this car really fucking good. Let's just use that.
You can.
Yeah.
The
There's
fact
a lot
that
of
they have that level there, if you want to go into it, because we don't have any. There are no Forza Motorsports available anymore.
Yeah.
You've only got the Horizon series, so they don't have any of their real series. So it's good that they have at least a lot of that stuff in there.
I think what I've noticed from playing it so much is that for a game that really does provide like the entire casual to full sim option, you're not really at any negative no matter where you are in that spectrum. Like if you're racing against someone with a full sim setup and you're using half the options, like it's still balanced somehow.
How many false limbs does your character have?
0. I didn't want to go through the list.
It's a big list.
I do also really like how long the list of things you can get them to call you is.
There's a big
list.
Oh, yeah.
It's like having all the real names is great. And like it's illegal for them to just fucking come out and do it on you without telling you, like they do. It's like, hey, everyone give a good cheers for Sam. I'm like, hey, wait a second.
I didn't give you rights to this.
Yeah. But then to flip the list to like, here's all the nicknames, and it's just as long. You're like, who wants some of these? There's some weird ones.
I do. There. If you've never played, like, this is your first Horizon.
Yeah.
I do recommend.
I 100%. I'm going to go back because 4 is the UK, so there'll be a lot of shit I recognize there. Yeah. And then 3 is Australia, so there'll be a lot of shit I recognize there.
My favorite is still
fun.
Australia, just simply for that familiarity. Like it's.
I want to go back to 3, not for the Australia, but the Hot Wheels DLC.
The Hot Wheels one,
Oh yeah,
because that had
I do have 2 Hot Wheels vehicles in 5. Yeah.
Nice,
it's quite fun to drive around.
And 4 had Lego.
Yes.
And the level they went into modeling that Lego,
like full on, wasn't it?
It was just like, it's like, oh no,
like every individual brick.
Yeah, a brick is not a rectangle. Are you insane? There's warping on the plastic, and there's areas of different thickness of plastic, and
it'd be interesting to see what they do for this one. I think
such nerds.
Mexico as a location, like, it's real nice. You go from like the desert dunes to the volcano to like the jungles.
Look, it's a good sign for Fable.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Hopefully, I am very interested to see what the non-car game is from these folk.
You know how like EA's been talking, or Battlefield's been talking about the Battlefield universe thing
recently,
where there's like somehow they want to set up like the Battleverse, whatever they want. I'm going to coin it right now.
MultiVersus is so in right now.
Yeah, Battleverse. I kind of want that for Horizon.
Just tie it all together.
Yeah, just like I want to be able to play in Mexico
cars.
and then just go, hey, can I just go drive this over here now?
Take a flight.
The main thing I want to do in the Horizon games is it's actually a little bit nostalgic because I just like to get the car I always like to drive in the racing games as a kid, which is some kind of like really old like Lamborghini, yellow Lamborghini with like back in the kind of 80s style where it's all chunky. And I just want to drive that thing. That's all I want to do.
I knew it'd be a Lambo or a Porsche.
Yeah, it's like I just really like the Lambo. I like the shape of it. It's got to be yellow. And I just want to take my yellow Lambo and just like go to Australia and go to Mexico. And
it's interesting because like the story thingy that they put in there is like I gathered from it, they're like, oh, you're the character from 4.
Oh, yeah.
Because, like, you've come from the UK and now you're setting it up in Mexico.
You're just the world's most hot shit racer.
I'm just the most hot shit racer around.
The way you ran into that wall was amazing.
The radio is always talking about me, even whilst I'm, like, tearing down walls. Ruining people's lives.
Way to go, champion. Don't worry. Oh, man. In that opening, they put a dog on the course briefly, and that scared the shit out of me. So, oh, have you guys seen the trailer for a film called Lamb?
No.
Okay, so it's being published. Now I'm getting game and film mixed up. Anyway, the studio A24, so it puts you in the right mood. So it's a couple who run a sheep farm, and they give birth to a humanoid sheep.
Oh no.
And they raise it, and
That sounds wild.
I'm so upset by parts of this trailer. It's also looks kind of funny at points, but also very upsetting, and I don't want to watch it, but I do want to watch it a lot. Anyway, I don't like it when the animal looks like it's there and it's going to get run over.
Yeah.
There is no running over in that trailer. It just made me have the same emotions. No, doggy, no, get off the road. Some gamers are maniacs. Have you met us? We play Postal.
Some of us.
Yeah, all good gamers do. So I did my yearly run through Hatred.
Have you got Succubus yet? That's coming out now. That's
has
out.
it? No, I haven't. No,
It's wild.
Yeah, I mean, Agony was awful.
Yeah.
And Succubus, I believe, will
It's
also
just
be
as
awful. But I do still have.
But it's wild.
I still have Agony unrated in my wish list just because I'm like, how funny will this be unrated? I need to see it. When it's $1, I'll get it. Yeah. So Succubus Christmas special.
Yeah, maybe.
Okay. Good stuff. Okay. Other video games. Oh, James, you were playing Loop Hero 2, and I didn't let you say anything. Or did I not let you, or did you not say anything?
No, I said
There's a
some
difference.
stuff.
Cool.
He had
Okay,
at least a sentence.
Yeah.
Let's talk about some cool things that James and I have found. One thing that Paul has found, and by found, I mean I listened to Giant Bomb and they mentioned it, and then I looked it up, and it's cool. So I thought I'd share it here as well. The Dolphin Bar. The Dolphin Bar is a replacement sensor bar for the Wii. Well, not so much for the Wii, more for your PC, which you might be doing naughty things on. One of the bad things about doing naughty things with Wii games is that the controls when you're not using a Wii controller are shit. So this is a sensor bar. Now, you just need two IR
Paul,
lights.
I can just use 2 candles.
You just use two candles, don't need it. What this also is a receiver, Bluetooth receiver, all set up for remote. So it's got a sync button on it. So you plug it into your PC, it's all in one thing. So you go sync, and you sync your controller, and then you're just done. Then you can play your totally legal cool games.
It's never been easier to play legal games on the PC.
Yeah, well, it actually made me think, it's like, because I have a pretty big Wii collection. I'm like, could I just now build like a better Wii, just like a small PC box?
Yeah.
See, yeah, probably.
Yeah, like it's like it'll run high resolution.
Could you get like a little Raspberry Pi? Would that thing be powerful enough to do?
Probably not a Raspberry
Yeah.
Pi,
But
but
some
not
of the
far
new
off.
ones might be.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, have a look. Because I mean, the Wii games run really well. And there's just there's a bunch of the Wii has some amazing games that nobody ever talks about or remembers because all the good games didn't get any exposure. It's just like, hey, are you Wii Sports or are you Mario Kart? Mario Kart's also they're both good games. I didn't mean to say they're not good games, but yeah, there's some weird games on that console that sort of get forgotten. And I'm like, nah, I need to go back. I need to go back and play Deadly Creatures once in a while. It's cool. Or Zack and Wiki, The Curse of Barbados's Treasure. I think that's his name. Anyway, cool thing. James also found a thing for his stupid waste of money.
Oh, for my Mister.
Yeah.
Firstly,
yeah.
the question is, I know it's probably been done, but maybe not with a regular Wiimote hookup. How long till someone beats Dark Souls with it?
It's already been done.
Probably been done.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm pretty sure I saw someone beat Dark Souls with some lemons.
Yeah.
Well, Vrudism did it with his Morse code.
Oh God.
So yeah, the thing that I most recently picked up for my Mister is a emulator of an MT32, a Roland MT32.
Very specific.
So back in the early Sierra days and LucasArts days, there was a MIDI expansion thing that you could attach to your computer, which made very, very nice music. I guess you can think of it almost as like an external sound card, I guess.
Yeah.
And when you listen to old games like Monkey Island or Altair Adventure games running through this Roland MT32, the sounds beautiful. Unfortunately, to buy it costs about $700-800.
That's expensive.
Yes. So someone has now made a little emulator thing that you can put on a Raspberry Pi and attach a little hat to it, and just plug it into your Mister, and it just emulates it off the. Like it's a little external thing.
And it did sound very nice.
It's like a Mister.
Yeah. So like one of the things is you can emulate the sound on the Mister, but because like it's emulating the hardware. It just doesn't have the CPU to also push the emulation of the MT32, and so it's out of sync and things like that. But this thing will just emulate it perfectly, mix the sound back into the Mister, and and to go on top of that, there was also a game pack I found called the Exodos Top 300, where some guy has gone through the Exodos collection, and do not condone the installation of.
I do.
You do what you will. But for those who don't know, Exodos is basically a project to try and archive DOS games as a big umbrella. It houses as basically everything. This guy's basically got here's the top 300. Got them all working nicely on the Mister, so you can just download it from the Internet Archive.
Did all the hard work.
It's got a launcher.
I've got a hung download over there on my computer for Ecstatica with a high-res patch on it. I think it allows it to run at 640 by 480.
Whoa.
You're really pushing those pixels.
Yeah.
Shit, yeah. Got to up my game. Yeah. I think that might be all of our hardware. Cool. It is good stuff. Okay. Now, a quick game, because I haven't got to play very much yet. I bought Big Brain Academy for the Switch.
Oh, yeah.
Because I wanted to play it with my partner, but we haven't had a chance yet. So Big Brain Academy is Big Brain Academy. It's like your brain training and all the other shit that used to be on the DS. It's a bunch of mental games to play. You can do touch controls or controller controls, but the big thing here is that it's actually competitive. And here's the kicker that might make it work for a lot of families and stuff. Every player can be on their own difficulty. So,
does it have a crown?
I haven't seen a crown yet, but as I say, I haven't actually got to play it. I've got to see the phone and play it single player. So if you've got a kid, they can be playing on the easy puzzles, and you can be playing on the expert puzzles, and you can be genuinely competitive with each other because the hard level does get a lot slower and a lot harder to do. There's a shitload of little mental games to do on there. If you enjoy, that's just sort of like what's the very first mini game in it is just at the top of the screen. They'll have 3 symbols, and they go okay, select any these 3 symbols when they come up, and at the bottom they've just got a D-pad and the holes, and things come out of the holes, and when one of those matches one of those 3 symbols, you just quickly select that direction and select. Really simple, anyone can understand it, and then that speeds up and it gets more complex. It's okay, remember it's one of these 5 symbols, and you're just looking at these 4 popping up constantly. Is it? It's very simple. They're mind games, and they're good exercises to do, and they're just kind of fun. And if you keep it on easy, probably relaxing, but they do get quite taxing quite quickly. I'm supposed to be smart, aren't I? I'm just average. But we already knew that. So Big Brain Academy seems fine. It's not a super full price. I think it's $50 or something full price.
While we're just sort of briefly on
Yeah.
games to play with family. I'm going to tangent off to board games
for
a brief second.
Board games?
So I recently...
Does it have a digital version?
It does not, unfortunately.
Fuck.
I recently bought a copy of Azul during the box or the Black Friday sales. And I've been slowly discovering the kind of board games I like to play with Cheryl. And that is generally competitive games and abstract games. Don't need these big meaty themes. So just give me something simple.
Yeah.
And this one is... I'm not going to... It's a little hard to describe because it's an abstract board game. But it's basically you are picking from a selection of Portuguese-style tiles and building up a scoreboard to earn points. And it's as a game to play with a partner. It's great. I really love it. It's... The length of the game is about maybe 20-30 minutes. It's really chill. We'll play it. We just put on some classic Portuguese music. And it's all about trying to basically complete a puzzle where you're pulling from a pool of shared selections. And you can kind of impact the way other people will be able to pick it. So there'll be basically, for 2 players, there'll be 5 discs on the table. And on each of these discs, you'll put 4 tokens. And these are one of 5 colors. And each turn, you can take all of the colors from one tile, from one... You know what?
Explaining board games is fucking impossible.
You know what? I'm not going to bother. I'm just going to say, if you want a good family game, which is it's it's not Scrabble, like it's not like your very classic games, but you could put this in front of someone and after a round they'll get it. And the more
I'm looking at pictures and it looks incredibly but I sort of get like we were looking at a picture before and I thought that was the game, but that was actually an individual player's scoreboard. So we weren't even looking at the thing that was the gameplay.
So we won't go into it, but it's what I like about it is that we're still figuring out the strategies. So it's like quite simple what you're doing. And the more you play it, you're more like, oh, okay, so I can go this way to try to win. And then you can kind of go, well, I can see what this person's trying to do and guess their strategies and then trying to influence that. And like, there's other games we've played. Like another one we like is one called Sagrada, which is sort of like, it's almost like a competitive gem matching game. And I say with that one, and I've had this with other games, like another one's called Railroad Inc., where you're playing these like puzzle games, and it kind of ends up feeling like you're all individually playing the puzzle game, and you may like the impact you have on the other people is minimal, if anything. So it's more like, you're just solving these puzzles, and maybe you score at the end.
Competitive, but not too competitive.
Yeah, where this one, it feels more like you can impact the other people, like it's just got a little bit more to it in terms of like the competitive nature of it.
But James, you idiot, it's time to upgrade to Azul Summer Pavilion.
No, I actually want to keep the base one for now. I might grab Summer Pavilion eventually, but for now I like the nice, the base. I don't want diamond tiles. I want...
That would be madness.
But yeah, I highly recommend. If you want to learn more about it, you're much better off going to something like Shut Up and Sit Down, the YouTube channel. And they have a review on it.
Yeah, it's
and it will teach you about what it is.
Teaching and reviewing board games is an art form, I'm sure of it.
Oh, shit, yeah. Like, there are games that I play that I'm still like when we play Root digitally, I still would be uncomfortable playing Root
I would
in real
love
life.
a physical copy of Root. There is no way in hell I'd be able to keep track of all the stuff you have to do.
Yeah. I'm like...
It's not happening.
I just, like, forget a turn or something.
Oh, yeah. I've got to do this phase now. Any game that starts introducing phases, like, starts to worry me.
Oh no! I still kind of want, because I've played a few rounds of is it the Haunting on? What's the
the
House
Betrayal
House on Haunted Hill thing? Yeah.
Betrayal at House on the Hill.
Betrayal at House on the Hill. That's the one. Yes, we were getting mixed up with Netflix shows. And I'm just like, I have played like 3 times, and there's still like I still feel like there's some things that we're fudging rules on where we're not quite actually clear and like who can move where, what where. I need someone that's really confident. They don't even have to know that they need to be confident.
This is why I like something like Azul, because like it's the mechanics are so simple. Like, and there's no way to really screw it up.
You're always going on about this Azul.
It's Azul.
Azuzu. That was
Azuzu.
Yeah, Professor Farnworth's Gargoyle.
Yeah.
Good times. Okay, I picked up a game that I've been waiting for ages because I'm cheap, waiting for it to go on sale. Wunderdoktor on the Steam, which is... what's the other game they've made? Fuck it, I've forgotten. So it doesn't matter. The other game's more fun. Anyway, it's a doctor sim, but it's you kind of like in sort of ye olde Plague Masky times, and everything's fictional. So
Plague Masky times.
Yeah.
They're just making shit up.
Yeah, very, very much like crepe paper cutouts
for everyone.
Look, your humours are all out of alignment.
Well, this is more like you got to find the ghosts on their body and avoid them while you pop all the pustules and shit. But it's got like a...
Why wasn't there ever a trauma centre witch, like a plague doctor?
There should be. This is what this kind of is. It's very sort of arcadey. It's like cure this person in the time recommended. And it's just little things like you got to pop certain things. You might need several clicks, or it might be hidden, or you got to put a piece of like a Band-Aid on certain things in time. It's all sort of crepe paper art style. But yes, they are... It's just sort of silly fun. Oh, like it'll be things like someone's eye pops out and you've got to push it back in. Like that sort of thing. Yeah. But there's a story. And that's what I wasn't expecting. I thought it was just going to be a little bit of arcadey silliness. But it's actually like there's a bad company that makes bad, like sort of like corporate potions and is trying to just fix everyone with potions. But you do it the old-fashioned good way.
These evil new doctors with their medicines.
Yeah, exactly. So you've got to...
Talking about their little tiny creatures that are on everyone.
You've got to take down Big Pharma. These guys made Penko Park. That was the other game I was talking about, which is the Pokemon Snap style game. It's small, it's cute. It's like, I don't know, I'm like 4 chapters in. It's funny. It's very simple, but it looks cool. Wunderdoktor. I mean, it's just called Wunderdoktor, but I prefer to say it like that.
But in German.
Yeah. it's WU. It's good times. Okay, talked about Sonic Forces. James and I played some more Operation Tango. And I think probably the big takeaway is, other than the fact that the game remains quite fresh in the challenge that gives you. So Operation Tango, if you're not aware, is a 2-player cooperative game. You're spies. One of you is a hacker. One of you is a spy. So you have to work cooperatively, but you're seeing completely different things.
Kind of like We Were Here style game.
But almost taken to another level of it, because there's it's not always this, but it's normally like one person is at the actual scene walking around first person, the other person just has sort of like interfaces in front of them. And then they mix that up and you go back and forth and all sorts of things. But also, it's been a while since we played. And when we first played, there are a few little puzzles that had like physics and everything in it, and they would go out of sync and they made us angry. They seem to be fixed.
They seem to fix them now, yeah.
Yes. So good.
Yeah.
That's good.
And what I've liked from this game, now that we've played more missions, is there is some repeated mechanics.
Yeah.
But generally, it's actually been really mixed. Like it's like each encounter has felt very different.
Yeah, because the thing is, like, you'll eventually, when you complete it, you go back and do the same levels again. There's not a lot of challenge, except you go back and do the other person's role. It's totally different, and so it's sort of, there's a reason to at least go back and do every mission twice. And you sort of understand what the other person was talking about when they said, like, I don't know, there's like a guy with a hat and like a straight smile, it's pretty. It's pretty. That's on. I think you can even do it crossplay. PS5.
Because was it a PlayStation 5 game?
Yeah, it's on PlayStation 5.
Yeah, like a free one they gave. Like,
yes, I think it might have been. I
think
it might have been on Plus
at some point. So it might be in someone's library. It might already be in your library, as long as you go through adding them games.
Which I almost always do. It's when I don't, it's a real snub on something. Yeah. It's like, ooh,
I don't even want this for free.
Ooh, cricket game.
I still add it.
Just in case.
I think there was a Humble a couple of months ago where they added like a golf game, like PGA.
What if golf games?
What if Henry grows older and decides he wants to play a cricket game?
That's our only rule. That's our only expectation of Henry. He can do anything he fucking wants, but if he wants to play cricket or shows an interest in it in any way whatsoever,
just out the door.
Uncle James is getting him cricket bats.
No. Backyard cricket's fine.
7 years of gifts. Let's go.
It's like, let's go and sit out in the hot sun. Let's face it. Cricket's a summer game, and there isn't going to be any summer by the time he's old enough for that. We're going to be underground in our caves.
Yeah. Scorching heat or nothing.
Yeah, exactly. They go, could we move cricket to winter? No. Those are the times that you'll be forage.
Yeah. Especially in Australia, if they did move cricket to winter, it's also not raining.
It's true. It's like, it's a better temperature and not raining. Nah, screw it. The blaring sun, please. Because the sun's never damaged anything. No. Especially not in Australia.
You got zinc on your nose. You're fine.
And what a more fun thing to do as a parent is sit there at the sideline pretending to care for hours on end. No, honestly, he can do fucking anything else. I don't care. He can become a serial killer and make skin suits out of people and I'll give him more support.
And play cricket.
Yeah, exactly. If he doesn't make some skin knee pads out of it. Good times. Okay. We're going through most things. I'm still not going to talk about that. The last 3 episodes. HUMOUR. I got code for HUMOUR, which I've wanted to play all year. It is extremely simple. It's so simple I did a review on Z Games hidden inside me talking about something else because I only did it for 1 minute was my entire review. These people like Studio Ghibli and they made a game in the style of Studio Ghibli. You're a little fairy. You've got a cloak on like the Journey guy, but you got a baby's face. You're going back to where you were born and there's lots of cute insect creatures and you got to jump and then you get a double jump and then you get the ability to push blocks and nothing will ever tax you and there's no danger and it's got a wonderful soundtrack that just sounds like a Studio Ghibli movie. That's it. Nice. And you get to the end, it's like, wow, that was a relaxing experience. That's fine. And that's kind of like I compare it to like Gris. And Gris was, I'd probably say a little bit more ambitious in its style, but they both pull off the style they're aiming for very well aesthetically. And Gris was quite straightforward when you played it, but it actually labeled on a lot of mechanics by the end, like flipping upside down. And, like, it was easy, but it was actually, I think it was only easy because we're gamers and this kind of shit just kind of, I think if you gave it to like a layman, they'd be like, why the fuck am I doing 5 things at once? It's like, it's a game. Just jump and flip and push the button and then flip between. It's fine. But yeah, it was a bit more satisfying as a journey and overall more ambitious and felt a bit more if you were just looking for like a beautiful looking platformer. But if you want like a very friendly, straightforward thing, it's really only about 3 hours long, I think. HUMOUR is very cute. So yeah, it might be good to go through with a kid or something. Because it's also like the controls are fine. It's just like move left and right and jump. But it's one of those things where you sort of clip the edge of like a jump, and a modern game would sort of just give it to you, and this is just like, do the jump again. I'm like, for a game where I don't care about the skill level, I could do with not making me do the jump twice, thanks. But yeah, it's good, but nothing really special about it. The Eternal Cylinder came out.
I want to hear about this.
Well,
I didn't realize it was out.
There's 2 problems. One, I haven't got any further than I did in the demo. 2, I don't think I talked about the demo on the show. So here we go. The Eternal Cylinder by Ace Team, one of my favorite developers. Not because all their games are amazing, but because all their games are fucked up and interesting. These are people that made Xenoclash, the Abyss Odyssey, the Rock of Ages games. They're a South American developer, and they have their own goddamn brand. And this one, it's a little disappointing because their original pitch they couldn't execute on. Because this game's been in development for a while. Because the original pitch was insane. Here's a planet. You are a little creature. It is a survival game. And throughout the game, you'll be followed by a humongous cylinder, the width of the planet, that slowly rolls over everything in its path. One of the things is, if you're constantly being chased by a giant cylinder that crushes the entire landscape, quite hard to get your bearings and go on things. So one of the main changes, the cylinder stops rolling. You have sort of towers along that you have to sort of get energy, run up to the tower, activate the tower, and that will stop the cylinder and let you explore that sort of like latitude along the planet up until it's time to move on to the next bit, in which case, activate the cylinder and off we go. So what this game really is about making a weird ecosystem of weird creatures, and you building up a little army of creatures. So it takes inspiration from quite a few different sources. So as I say, you're quite a neutral, little, kind of useless creature. Got 2 legs and you got an elephant trunk nose. What you can do is you can suck up almost anything with your nose. Then you can spit it out as a projectile. Maybe it'll hurt something, probably not. It's not like it come out particularly fast. Or you can absorb it. Absorbing it might give you the properties of the thing you sucked up. So you might be able to give yourself big bouncy legs, or ability to hold a vast amount of water, or more storage space, or ability to float, or all sorts of things. And you can mix and match these abilities. Then you find other creatures like you, and they join you. You can name them. You can switch between them as the playable characters. You can give them different powers. So, like, you can end up with a little horde of creatures, all with their own inventories, all with their own sets of abilities. Like, you might just have the big fat one that carries everything for you, and you have your more agile ones. And unfortunately, they also all get fucked up by the quite dangerous at times creatures of this planet, which, as Ace Team does, are all sort of surreal and wild. And you just sort of stop when you encounter them, and you go, are you dangerous? Are you not? What do you do? How does this work? So it's very much a game about discovery and exploration. So you're uncovering a story. There's sort of like an ancient prophecy. You go into temples and you find out things like, oh, what's happened in the past, and you're going to find. I haven't finished. As I said, I'm not even past where I was in the demo. But yeah, it's like little temples to go through, and you unlock and you get more abilities and powers, and so like it's a weird mix between like Kirby and Pikmin and Return of the Savage Planet and just Ace Team's weirdness. And I'm just like, it really hasn't captured on all, because you were like, you won't even know it's out. It's not even out recently. It's been out, for like 2 months.
I just realized like I've seen people play this.
I'm a little disappointed they've rolled back on the the cylinder part.
I think it was just hard to make it a game.
Yeah, because
like the cylinder's still
just
there,
constantly moving.
Because what I wanted was that cylinder to be moving, almost a bit like Majora's Mask, where it is a thing.
It's just perpetual. Like it's always on the horizon, and it will like come down and cause big destruction and everything. But yeah, I think it just meant
it's in stages now. Really.
The game was probably too high pressure to just have. It's like if Nemesis was just always there. And it's like, just let me fucking stop and get some ammo. I think that's probably where they hit. And I don't know what happens later in the game. Maybe it does get a little bit more freeform later on once you've got... Because the thing is, when you like say there's all this inventory management and you're trying to switch between characters and do everything, doing that while running, probably very difficult at the beginning of the game. So it's very, very interesting. And hopefully I can come back with some more impressions as I'm further in. But initial is just like... I mean, I bought it because I like the demo and I like Ace Team, and I just need some time to sit down with it. They sure do
like big rolly things.
They do. And this game it was kind of weird. They sort of just let it out. It's like it sort of was in development hell for a pretty long time, because I think it first reveal was like 5 years ago or so, and just sort of came out with no fanfare. I kind of hope that they did like a current gen version of it as well, because for PS4 there's not really any upgrades to go to PS5. Maybe if we can find a little cult audience, but we'll see. Or maybe I just wait for the next oddness. I need to go back to Abyss Odyssey, actually, because that was the one that was like a roguelike, side-scrolling roguelike dungeon crawler with Smash Brothers inspired fighting. I'm like, that's fucking weird. Yeah. Did Ace Team do Deadly Tower of Monsters? I don't think so.
I don't know.
I can't remember if they did or not. I love Deadly Tower of Monsters, but it does make me think of them. I don't think they did.
I don't think they did.
Let's find out. That's a game. That was like the second game I installed on my PS5. No, it is Ace Team.
Oh, okay.
Deadly Tower of Monsters is the one where it's like a B-movie and some of the characters are stop-motion animated and some of them are drawn on screen. And there's a guy doing a commentary the whole time. Oh, man. And you climb up the tower, and the whole time you can just watch. You can look down the tower and see the whole world below you. You can just jump off. What a fucking game! 72% on Metacritic. Fuck you, Metacritic. That's fine. Not every game is for everyone, and I like Ace Team. Okay, mostly through. I think. I got Happy Humble Burger Farm because they sent me a key apropos of nothing. I'm like, should I use this? I'm like, why not? It made me realize something. So Happy Humble Burger Farm is a burger making simulator in a dystopian world. And if you fuck up, an evil cow appears and will hunt you down and kill you, as long as you're not as long as you're not looking at it. It's fucking terrible. Like, you're in this world, you've got a job at the burger place and you have to like put on a headset and wear it like all the time, even when you're not at work. And it's like a bit of an open world exploration, and you go to work. And so what I realized is that AAA horror games don't scare me at all. Like, I can play through Resident Evil, like, who gives a shit? Like, low budget, I don't know if this counts because it's tiny build, so I don't know if it counts as indie, but I don't know what they'll do. And the fact, like, they go,
they're
like,
willing to do anything.
Like, here's how you make a burger, and then you're serving, you're like, oh no, you fucked up. Now the customer's a giant angry cow that's going to kill you. Don't not look at it. So you're just like, you have to make him
angel cow.
You have to make him a burger with a rotten patty, and that's the only way to get rid of him. It's like, but don't not look at him. So you're just trying to like navigate backwards, like pick up the rotten patty. Okay, it's on the grill. Okay, I just need to grab a bun, and you look down. You look back, I was moved. It's like, where the fuck is he? I'm like, why am I scared of this stupid little fucker? Like, I've only played like, I don't know, 15, 20 minutes of it. I can't talk about the overall game yet. But I'm actually nervous playing a stupid fucking burger making simulator. It's I don't know if I can do it. I don't know if I have the composure to make me through. Just give me a Silent Hill. Just give me a I know.
You want weird spooky? Let's go.
I know what the language of those games is. It's fine.
You know the rules.
I don't know why you get scared. Like, I don't know what its save system is yet. It's probably fine. You probably only go back 20 seconds or whatever. That's what all modern games do. But I'm still scared. I got to learn the rules, and I got to disassociate myself, like I learned to do with horror movies back when I was 15 years old. It's like, they're just funny. Nothing is ever scary again. I don't know. When's the last movie? Yeah, I don't know. I was trying to think when a movie scared me. It's probably just like fucked up things happening to animals or kids, and I just go, I don't like that. But scary. I don't know.
No, I don't think. I remember the first It Chapter 1. That actually did freak me out. Chapter 2 didn't.
Did you like have like scary thoughts afterwards or anything?
No, just like while watching it, I
thought it was effective. It's just very jump scary.
Yeah.
It's just like it's fun scary. It's like hee.
But that one made me. Yeah, I mean, I got like horror scares out of it, and I didn't know so much with Chapter 2. But that doesn't happen very often to me anymore.
Yeah, I suppose it's more tensions I get in things now. It's like a really overempowering foreboding tension.
No, it's Black Mirror will do it to me.
What will?
I think there was a Black Mirror episode.
Oh yeah.
Where the premise was you had a chip in your brain. Where you will remember everything, and at any point in your life, you could rewind and watch something.
Oh, no. No, thank you.
Yeah, and I couldn't watch the episode.
It's the last thing we need.
That is a premise where I had 100% photographic memory where at any point I could go back and rewatch a part of my life. I couldn't do it.
You could watch Weather Woman whenever you wanted.
It's terrifying. Humans edit memories for a reason. It's like so we can exist.
Not me.
Most people already dwell too much on the mistakes of their past.
Yeah, and they're not even real mistakes. They're probably different than what actually happened.
What's a arbitrary shame that haunts you to this day?
Fuck if I know. Because I've forgotten, which is the point.
Yeah. So you don't have any. So here's the one that always comes first to my mind.
I'm just not willing to say it out loud.
I mean, that's just doing arbitrary, not one. So in like grade 4 or so, a kid got up, I might have even told this one before, kid got up to do an oral presentation on motorcycles. And he said, the biggest race in motorcycles is the Grand Prix. And everyone laughed at him, including me. But I didn't fucking know. The shame haunts me to this day. I would have said Grand Prix too. I didn't fucking know. Hypocrite, Paul.
Okay, I got one. So I was at uni.
Yeah.
And so we had to do some talks. And someone was doing a talk on Dakatana.
Oh, something we're well versed on.
Now, I burst into laughter when he did this. And because for me, I had a running joke that just it was from Penny Arcade. There was that Penny Arcade comic where the whole punchline was just Dakatana. And so he said Dakatana. I just burst into laughter. And everyone was really like uncomfortable and nervous because this guy was just laughing. And like for me, I was just laughing at the funny joke that only I knew. I wasn't laughing at you, sir.
But Dakatana is quite funny.
I know, but I was laughing at him. I was laughing at him in the middle of his talk where he was nervous.
Poor boy.
Yeah.
James, you're a monster. Oh, well. And Sam has no shame.
No. Zero. None that I recall on a constant basis.
Cool. So I think that kind of... I still didn't hit everything on my list, but I think I've got more than enough out of it. And also... Okay, two things we didn't talk about. One, Battlefield 2042. We haven't spoken about that anymore. What a hilarious clusterfuck this game has been. Like, before it even released, I think the most telling thing was that, in our massive team-based game, no voice chat at launch.
No leaderboards. They turned them off.
Okay. The best thing about it is the fact that hovercraft can climb up the side of buildings.
That was good.
Yeah. And hovercrafts are unstoppable tanks.
Yeah.
There is no world where hovercrafts have been more deadly than that at Battlefield 2042. It's amazing. It seems...
It's quite staggering, the clusterfuck. That's like... Because you think, is it a Battlefield? It's remember when like Battlefield 5 came out.
They've always been quite solid.
And people have been... I remember Battlefield 5 got a lot of flack for some reason. I played Battlefield 5.
They're all pretty shonky at launch.
Yeah, I played Battlefield 5 and I was like, all right, you got a campaign in there. The campaign seems all right. And like I could play matches and okay, whatever. And I remember Battlefield 1. I really liked Battlefield 1. I can't remember if it was janky at launch. It might have been okay.
Yeah, they all have some level of jank at launch. One felt better than most.
Yeah. But Battlefield 2041 has been
42.
Sorry, 42. Just has been like some of the bugs that I've seen, and because I played the beta, and there was something that just felt off about it. Like, because I remember like when I heard about the Portal stuff with 2142, I was really keen. I was like, this sounds like you're gonna be able to mishmash all this stuff, and like I was actually prepared.
I think the Portal stuff is still the better stuff.
I think that stuff's still all right. But yeah, like just playing the beta, I'm like, I don't know, these maps feel really big, and like I don't seem to be doing much, and
Yeah, like outside of the technical jankiness, it does seem to be the maps are the big thing. It's
I
just
think
like
they got rid of a lot of destruction. Like I remember from Battlefield, like more recent ones, a big part of it was like being able to blow through walls and.
Yeah, that's sort of like, well, it was big in Bad Company 2,
Yeah.
and then it sort of disappeared and slowly came back. And everyone's like, just make Bad Company 3. That's what we want. But, I mean, the big thing, it seems like they're so designed to have so much access to everything, so much verticality, so many points of attack. You can't actually really set up a defense or know where anything's coming from. It just feels completely random all the time. It's kind of like they've made a lot of Battlefield games before. They know how to do maps with choke points and stuff.
And then they added heroes to it. So it's
I haven't seen that.
Yeah, so it's like it's not class based. You don't play a medic.
Yeah.
You play a character.
Okay.
And which I guess is like okay, but that's not why I'm playing Battlefield. Like I'm playing Battlefield to feel like a soldier in a battle, and I just want to be a medic or I want to be an engineer. Like I don't want to be a particular person with a.
Like it's funny. I was almost going to buy this one, even when the jank started, because I like being part of the story of the jank at the start of Battlefield. It's funny. And it's like, hey, look, flying horses or some shit like that. Whatever. It gets neatened up. I still have some fun on the way.
They're generally solid. Like,
but this one seems to be lacking in the fun department and just some real big design problems.
I think just go back and play Battlefield 1.
Yeah. But the sound design's still fucking great.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's some really good artists, really good sound engineers on it. Really good work in that game. Some core problems. Anyway, and the other thing, which we totally mentioned last episode when we talked about Metroid Dread, we never spoke about the Emmys, which is like the whole point of the game. Well, not the whole point, but it's like the big gimmick of the game. Just wait, but was I the only person that played it? Because you watched it. You watched it. Cheryl.
I've seen it
you saw it. Yeah. Anyway, they added like stealth sections. They aren't really stealth sections. They just have some good tension. That's the end of it.
Yeah.
It's fun when you kill them. I don't know. I made a note at the end of the last episode going, we never actually said anything about them. Yeah, so there's Emmys, they're in their own zones, so you go through it. If they see you, they track you down, and they kill you with, 2 hits. You got 2 chances to parry, but it's randomized, the parry system, so it's just luck if you get it, really. You can't really win.
It's a 1-frame parry.
Yeah. I actually got quite good at it by the end, which I was surprised at. But it's just kind of more fun to be chased by them and get out with the skin of your teeth, which is generally what I did. They're just sort of good at breaking up the pacing of the game. So I think if you're frustrated with them, just avoid them for a while.
Well, no, Cheryl didn't like them.
Yeah, we had some chats about it. She had her ups and downs with them. She fucking loved when she killed them. Which is part of it. Like, you want that little bit of frustration, so it's like...
You want them to be annoying enough so that when you then get to kill them, it feels good.
Because what's good is that... So I think there's 6 in the game. And so you have to avoid them until you get a special power. And then that special power, you've got to take down their shield first with like a burst. And then you've got to do one big burst and shoot them in the head with one shot. So what you do is you get in the area and they'll be chasing you. So you run away until you get some space in front of you. And then you've got to like shoot at their shield long enough for it to heat up and shatter. Which means
while they're coming towards
they're walking towards you slowly. And you go, do I have enough time? And you got to work. Do you have enough time, or do you bail and try to take another shot at them and everything? It's really good tension, and each Emmy has its own properties, and they just mix it up a little bit, like the kind of environment you're in, where you don't like the early ones. They just give you a straight long corridor. You can just hold it down, shoot them in the head. It's no problem at all. But then they mix it up a bit, and it did make every kill pretty satisfying. And the last one. Very satisfying. You see that one, James? See the last kill?
Oh, yes.
It's pretty good. It's pretty good. I told Cheryl, don't worry about it. You'll like the last one. It'll be cool. Anyway, Metroid Dread's still a very good game. I just thought I'd mention the Emmys because we hadn't really said it before. And that, unless the boys have anything else to say, brings us to the end of another fabulous episode of 8.5-bit. 300. Big 300. Everyone, go have a wank or whatever your preference is.
You might have been doing it while we were talking.
I hope so.
I know I was.
We got to get close to the mics and do some ASMR stuff. But both your hands are on the table.
Oh, Sam's got an agile foot.
Yeah.
I'm folded all sorts of directions under here.
There was a guy I used to know that claimed he would tuck it between his legs and just squat to jerk off. And on that lovely note, Thank you for watching or listening to 8.5bit. You can go to our website, 8.5bit.com, at Twitter and Facebook. Please like, share, anything like that. Subscribe to us on whatever the hell you want. And join us on your Discord if you want. It's discord.8.5bit.com, or, I don't know, send an email to Sam. Find his email.
Yeah.
It's pretty easy to do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Don't dox him. That's rude.
No.
Or do dox him. I don't know.
Well, let me know first.
I'm not the boss of
Yeah, if you're going to dox Sam,
tell me before
give
you
him,
do it.
Yeah, give him prior warning and change some of the details.
Make it fun.
I've been Paul.
I've been James.
I've been Sam.
Catch you later, folks.
Thanks, everyone.
But dox James.